Welcome to Lost at 3 a.m. Put your phone down, close your eyes, and let this be the last video you hear tonight. Relax, breathe, and let's begin. Tonight, we're stepping into the magical world of Harry Potter, a series that has enchanted readers and viewers around the globe for decades. With its rich characters, spellbinding stories, and themes of friendship and bravery, Harry Potter is a world where the impossible feels real. From the bustling streets of Diagon Alley to the soaring towers of Hogwarts, Harry Potter invites us into a universe filled with wonder, danger, and heartwarming moments. Whether you've read the books, watched the films, or simply dreamed of receiving your own Hogwarts letter, there's something in this story that resonates with everyone. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore the origins of Harry Potter, the wizarding world, and the fascinating facts that make this series so beloved. For now, imagine the warm glow of Hogwarts in the distance, the sound of an owl soaring through the night as we begin our magical journey. The story of Harry Potter began on a delayed train journey from Manchester to London in 1990. It was during this quiet moment that J.K. Rowling first imagined the idea of a young boy discovering he was a wizard. As the train rolled through the countryside, she envisioned Harry's world, Hogwarts, his friends, and even his eventual battle against Voldemort. Rowling spent the next several years developing the story. She wrote much of the first book in cafes while raising her daughter as a single mother. Despite facing numerous rejections from publishers, her determination paid off. When Bloomsbury finally agreed to publish Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in 1997, the book was an immediate success, captivating readers of all ages with its mix of magical adventure and relatable emotions. It wasn't long before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, with translations into dozens of languages and millions of copies sold. As Rowling continued to write the series, the world of Harry Potter expanded, introducing new characters, locations, and lore. Each book became a highly anticipated event, with fans lining up at midnight for the latest installment. By the time the final book, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, was released in 2007, the series had become a cultural landmark. The origins of Harry Potter remind us that even the simplest ideas can grow into something extraordinary. What started as a fleeting thought on a train became a story that has inspired millions, proving the magic of creativity and perseverance. The wizarding world of Harry Potter is a rich and immersive universe, filled with magical locations, fantastical creatures, and a deep sense of wonder. At the center of this world is Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, a castle that has captured the imaginations of fans everywhere. Hogwarts isn't just a school, it's a character in its own right, with its moving staircases, hidden passageways, and enchanted ceilings. It's a place where the unexpected is always around the corner. Each of the four houses, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin, represents different qualities, making every student's journey uniquely personal. Beyond Hogwarts lies the bustling Diagon Alley, where witches and wizards shop for wands, cauldrons, and spellbooks. It's a vibrant marketplace filled with charm and mystery, from Ollivander's wand shop to the joke-filled Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. The quaint village of Hogsmeade, with its cozy pubs and snow-covered streets, offers a glimpse of everyday life in the wizarding world. Stops like the Three Broomsticks for a warm butterbeer, or Honeydukes for magical sweets, make Hogsmeade feel like home. Magical creatures also play a key role in bringing this world to life. From the majestic hippogriffs and thestrals to mischievous house elves and fearsome dementors, every creature adds depth and excitement to Harry's journey. The wizarding world is more than just a backdrop. It's a living, breathing universe that evolves with each book and film. Whether it's the grandeur of the Ministry of Magic or the eerie forests surrounding Hogwarts, every corner of this world invites us to dream and explore. This universe reminds us of the beauty of imagination and the magic that can exist in the everyday. For fans, it's not just a fictional place, it's a second home, filled with wonder, adventure, and endless possibilities. At the heart of Harry Potter is its unforgettable cast of characters, from the courageous Harry to the wise and enigmatic Dumbledore. Each character adds depth and emotion to the wizarding world, making it feel alive and relatable. Harry Potter, the boy who lived, is the series' central figure. Orphaned as a baby and raised by the neglectful Dursleys, Harry's journey from an ordinary boy to a brave wizard is one of self-discovery, resilience, and courage. His loyalty to his friends and determination to fight for what's right make him a hero for the ages. Hermione Granger, the brilliant and resourceful member of the trio, is a character who redefines what it means to be a hero. Her love for learning, quick thinking, and unwavering moral compass often save the day, proving that knowledge truly is power. Ron Weasley, Harry's loyal best friend, brings humour and heart to the story. Though he sometimes struggles with self-doubt, Ron's bravery and unwavering support for his friends make him an integral part of the trio. His family, the Weasleys, also represent the warmth and love that Harry longs for. Albus Dumbledore, the wise and complex headmaster of Hogwarts, serves as a mentor to Harry. His calm guidance and profound wisdom are balanced by his mysterious past, which adds layers of intrigue to his character. Severus Snape, one of the series' most complex characters, keeps readers and viewers guessing until the very end. His role as a double agent and his ultimate sacrifice reveal the depth of his loyalty and love, making him one of the most memorable figures in the series. Hagrid, the kind-hearted gamekeeper and Harry's first friend in the wizarding world, embodies warmth and loyalty. His love for magical creatures and his unwavering belief in Harry's potential add a sense of comfort and wonder to the story. Even the villains, like Voldemort and Bellatrix Lestrange, are unforgettable in their menace and complexity. Their actions drive the conflict and highlight the series' themes of choice, power, and redemption. These iconic characters are more than just fictional creations. They're reflections of human strengths, flaws, and emotions. They remind us of the importance of friendship, courage, and staying true to ourselves, no matter the challenges we face. The Harry Potter series is brimming with magical creatures, each one adding to the wonder and richness of the wizarding world. These creatures aren't just fascinating, they're integral to the story, often teaching Harry and his friends valuable lessons about bravery, empathy, and the unknown. Take the majestic hippogriff, for example. Introduced in The Prisoner of Azkaban, Buckbeak is a proud and noble creature who demands respect from anyone who approaches him. Through Buckbeak, Harry learns the importance of humility and understanding, forming a bond that ultimately saves both their lives. Dementors, on the other hand, represent the darker side of the magical world. These terrifying creatures feed on happiness and bring an overwhelming sense of despair wherever they go. Their presence is a powerful metaphor for depression, and Harry's ability to summon a Patronus, a manifestation of hope and positive memories, offers a meaningful message about resilience. House elves, like the lovable Dobby and the stern creature, play pivotal roles in the series. Dobby's devotion to Harry and his quest for freedom highlight themes of loyalty and justice, while Creature's transformation shows the impact of kindness and understanding. Dragons add an element of danger and awe to the wizarding world, appearing in key moments like the Triwizard Tournament in the Goblet of Fire. Their raw power and beauty remind us of the untamed magic that exists in Harry's universe. Even the smaller creatures, like Hedwig the owl, carry emotional weight. Hedwig is more than just a pet. She's a symbol of Harry's connection to the wizarding world and his longing for freedom. Her loss in the final book is a poignant moment that underscores the sacrifices made during the fight against Voldemort. Other magical beings, like centaurs, merpeople, and thestrals, enrich the series with their unique cultures and abilities. Thestrals, visible only to those who have witnessed death, serve as a profound symbol of loss and understanding, helping Harry and his friends confront their own mortality. The magical creatures of Harry Potter aren't just fantastical, they're deeply meaningful. Each one adds to the world's complexity, blending wonder with lessons about courage, empathy, and the beauty of the unknown. The magic of Harry Potter isn't just on the page or screen, it's also in the incredible effort and creativity behind the scenes. From intricate sets to groundbreaking special effects, the making of the Harry Potter films is filled with fascinating details and lesser-known secrets. One of the most iconic locations in the series, the Great Hall, was a fully constructed set at Leavesden Studios. The stone floors were real, and the long tables were carefully designed to look authentic. The set was so sturdy and well-loved that it remained intact throughout the entire film series and is now part of the Warner Brothers studio tour. The filmmakers also brought the magic to life with creative effects. For example, the floating candles in the Great Hall were originally real wax candles suspended by wires. However, the heat from the flames caused the wires to snap, so the team later switched to CGI to create the iconic effect. Quidditch scenes posed a unique challenge for the crew. Actors were filmed on broomsticks attached to hydraulic rigs in front of green screens, while wind machines created the illusion of flight. The end result blended practical effects with CGI, making Quidditch matches some of the most thrilling moments in the films. The design of Hogwarts was a monumental task. The castle was built as a detailed miniature model, complete with tiny windows, bridges, and towers. This model was used for exterior shots and digitally enhanced for sweeping views of the magical school. Costumes also played a huge role in bringing the wizarding world to life. Each house had subtly different robe designs to reflect its unique identity. The Yule Ball outfits in the Goblet of Fire were especially intricate, with Hermione's pink gown becoming one of the most memorable costumes in the series. Some casting choices almost turned out differently. Did you know that Robin Williams was interested in playing Hagrid? However, J.K. Rowling insisted on an all-British cast, leading to the unforgettable performance by Robbie Coltrane. These behind-the-scenes secrets revealed the extraordinary dedication and creativity that went into making Harry Potter. They remind us that the magic we see on screen is the result of countless hours of hard work and imagination, bringing J.K. Rowling's world to life in the most enchanting way possible. At its core, Harry Potter is more than just a story about magic. It's a tale of friendship, courage, love, and the choices that define us. The series weaves together powerful themes that resonate with readers and viewers of all ages, making it a timeless and deeply meaningful narrative. One of the central themes is the power of friendship. Harry, Hermione, and Ron's bond is the heart of the series, showing how trust, loyalty, and teamwork can overcome even the darkest challenges. Their friendship isn't perfect. They argue and struggle, but their love and support for each other never waver. Courage is another cornerstone of the series. Harry's bravery in facing Voldemort and his Death Eaters, often against overwhelming odds, inspires readers to find strength in themselves. But courage isn't limited to Harry. Neville Longbottom's journey from a timid boy to a hero who stands up to Voldemort in the final battle is a reminder that bravery takes many forms. The theme of love runs deeply throughout the series. From Lily Potter's ultimate sacrifice to save Harry, to the love and support Harry finds with the Weasleys, love is portrayed as the strongest magic of all. It's this love that protects Harry and ultimately defeats Voldemort, whose lack of love is his greatest weakness. Another key theme is the importance of choice. Dumbledore's words, "It is our choices, Harry, that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities," highlight the series' belief in personal responsibility and the power of free will. Characters like Snape, who chooses redemption, and Harry, who chooses to face his fears, show that we are defined by our decisions, not our circumstances. The series also explores themes of prejudice and equality. Through the struggles of house elves, werewolves, and mudbloods, Harry Potter shines a light on issues of discrimination and the importance of treating everyone with dignity and respect. Ultimately, Harry Potter is a story about hope, the belief that light can be found even in the darkest times. These themes remind us of the magic within ourselves and the power we have to make a difference in the world. They're what make Harry Potter not just a fantasy series, but a story that stays with us long after we turn the final page. The world of Harry Potter is filled with fascinating trivia and quirky details that make the series even more magical. From behind-the-scenes tidbits to hidden Easter eggs, these fun facts add an extra layer of wonder to J.K. Rowling's enchanting universe. Did you know that J.K. Rowling came up with the rules for Quidditch in a single afternoon after an argument? She wanted the game to have both excitement and strategy, leading to its unique mix of scoring methods and high-flying action. The names of characters and places in Harry Potter often have hidden meanings. For instance, Albus Dumbledore roughly translates to White Bumblebee, reflecting his whimsical and wise nature. Similarly, Hedwig is named after a saint, adding a touch of history and mysticism to Harry's loyal owl. Platform 9 3/4 at King's Cross Station has become a real-world destination for fans, complete with a luggage trolley disappearing into the wall. This location is based on J.K. Rowling's own experiences travelling through the station, although she accidentally mixed up the platforms when imagining the Hogwarts Express. The Patronus charm is one of the most personal spells in the series. J.K. Rowling revealed that her own Patronus would be a heron, while fans often speculate about their own based on Pottermore quizzes. Fun fact: Snape's Patronus, a doe, mirrors his unending love for Lily Potter, whose Patronus was the same. Easter eggs hidden in the films add a touch of fun for eagle-eyed viewers. For example, in The Prisoner of Azkaban, the Marauder's map shows two footprints standing very close together in a private room, an inside joke by the filmmakers about two unnamed characters sharing an intimate moment. Hogwarts' 4 house names were created during a moment of inspiration. Rowling wrote them down on the back of an airline sick bag during a flight. It's a testament to the spontaneous nature of creativity that defines the series. Even the actors have their own quirky connections to the series. Alan Rickman, who played Snape, was famously told Snape's full backstory by Rowling before it was revealed in the books, giving him a deeper understanding of the character's complexity. These fun and quirky facts remind us of the depth and detail that went into creating the Harry Potter universe. They make rereading the books or re-watching the films even more rewarding, as each discovery brings new magic to an already enchanting story. Harry Potter isn't just a series, it's a global phenomenon that has shaped pop culture, inspired millions, and left an indelible mark on the world of literature and entertainment. Its cultural impact extends far beyond books and films, creating a legacy that continues to thrive decades after its debut. The series redefined children's literature. When Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was first published in 1997, it reignited a love for reading among young audiences. Midnight book releases became events, with fans dressing up as their favourite characters and lining up to be among the first to dive back into the wizarding world. The films brought the magic of Hogwarts to the big screen, turning Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint into household names. The cinematic adaptations expanded the series' audience, introducing Harry's story to millions who hadn't read the books. The cultural impact of Harry Potter is also evident in the real world. The wizarding world of Harry Potter theme parks, located in Orlando, Hollywood, and Japan, allow fans to experience Diagon Alley, Hogwarts, and Butterbeer firsthand. These immersive attractions bring the magic of the series to life, creating unforgettable memories for fans of all ages. The series has also inspired countless fan creations, from fan fiction and art to podcasts and conventions like LeakyCon. Fans have kept the spirit of Harry Potter alive, celebrating its themes of friendship, bravery, and love through their creativity. Even the language of Harry Potter has seeped into everyday life. Words like Muggle, Quidditch, and Horcrux are instantly recognizable, and phrases like "the boy who lived" have become part of the cultural lexicon. On a deeper level, Harry Potter has sparked discussions about important themes like discrimination, the power of love, and the resilience of the human spirit. These messages resonate across cultures and generations, making the series universally relatable. The cultural impact of Harry Potter is a testament to the power of storytelling. It has created a community of fans who continue to be inspired by its magic, proving that the world J.K. Rowling imagined will forever be a place of wonder and connection. The magic of Harry Potter lies not only in its spells and enchanted worlds, but in the way it speaks to something universal within all of us. It's a story of love, courage, and the choices that shape who we are. For decades, it has brought readers and viewers together, creating a shared connection that transcends generations. What makes Harry Potter truly special is its ability to resonate on so many levels. For some, it's the journey of an underdog finding his place in a larger world. For others, it's the themes of friendship, sacrifice, and hope that strike a chord. And for many, it's simply the joy of escaping into a magical universe where anything feels possible. Hogwarts isn't just a school, it's a place where magic comes alive, where friendships are forged, and where countless adventures begin. For generations, fans have dreamed of receiving their Hogwarts letter, walking through the grand doors of the Great Hall, and experiencing the wonder of a world where anything is possible. From its moving staircases to its hidden chambers, Hogwarts is a character in its own right, filled with secrets and stories waiting to be discovered. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore the history, magic, and mysteries of this enchanting castle. For now, imagine yourself standing before the towering gates of Hogwarts, hearing the soft rustle of the forbidden forest nearby, as we begin our journey into the magical world of Hogwarts. Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry was founded over 1,000 years ago by 4 of the most brilliant and powerful witches and wizards of their time: Godric Gryffindor, Helga Hufflepuff, Rowena Ravenclaw, and Salazar Slytherin. Together, they envisioned a school where young witches and wizards could safely learn to harness their magical abilities. Each founder brought their own unique values and strengths to the school. Godric Gryffindor prized bravery and chivalry, seeking students who showed courage in the face of challenges. Helga Hufflepuff valued hard work, loyalty, and fairness, welcoming all students who were willing to put in the effort. Rowena Ravenclaw championed intelligence and wit, believing that sharp minds would push the magical world forward. Salazar Slytherin admired ambition and cunning, though his insistence on pureblood heritage created the first rift among the founders. The division between Slytherin and the other founders grew deeper over time, ultimately leading to Slytherin's departure from the school. Before he left, he created the Chamber of Secrets, hiding a monstrous basilisk within its depths to purge the school of those he deemed unworthy. Despite this discord, the legacy of the 4 founders lives on through the school's traditions and its houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin. Each house reflects the values of its founder, creating a sense of identity and belonging for every student who walks through Hogwarts doors. The founding of Hogwarts wasn't just the start of a school, it was the beginning of a magical legacy that continues to inspire and enchant us today. As we explore the rest of Hogwarts, remember the vision and ideals that created this extraordinary place. One of the first magical moments every Hogwarts student experiences is the sorting ceremony, where the enchanted sorting hat determines which house they'll call home. Each house represents the values and ideals of its founder, and the sorting hat's decision shapes a student's Hogwarts experience. The sorting hat itself is a creation of the 4 founders, imbued with their wisdom to ensure that the values of Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin endure. The hat's songs, sung before each sorting, provide clues about the traits each house prizes, and even offer cryptic warnings about the challenges Hogwarts might face. Gryffindor is the house of bravery, daring, and chivalry. Its students are known for their courage in the face of adversity, exemplified by alumni like Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ron Weasley. The house's scarlet and gold colours and the noble lion emblem reflect its bold spirit. Hufflepuff values loyalty, hard work, and fairness. Its students are often underestimated, but prove time and again that perseverance and kindness are powerful traits. Notable Hufflepuffs include Cedric Diggory and Newt Scamander, and their house is represented by the cheerful badger and the colours yellow and black. Ravenclaw, Tyrtrum Tabor celebrates intelligence, creativity, and wit. Its members are known for their thirst for knowledge and their ability to think outside the box. Famous Ravenclaws like Luna Lovegood and Cho Chang embody the house's ideals. Its colours, blue and bronze, and the eagle emblem reflect its lofty aspirations. Slytherin is synonymous with ambition, resourcefulness, and determination. Though often misunderstood, Slytherins are fiercely loyal to those they care about and strive for greatness in all they do. Alumni like Severus Snape and Merlin himself remind us that Slytherin's legacy is complex and multifaceted. The house is represented by the cunning serpent and the colours green and silver. The Sorting Hat doesn't just place students based on their traits, it considers their choices as well, as seen when Harry requested not to be sorted into Slytherin. This flexibility reflects Hogwarts' belief in the power of personal choice, and the idea that our paths are not solely defined by others. The sorting ceremony and the houses are more than just traditions. They're the foundation of Hogwarts, fostering a sense of belonging and identity that stays with students long after they leave the castle walls. Hogwarts Castle is a marvel of magical architecture, filled with enchanting details and hidden mysteries that make it as much a character as the students and teachers within its walls. Its design is both practical and whimsical, blending beauty with magic in ways that constantly surprise and delight. The Great Hall is one of the most iconic spaces in Hogwarts, with its enchanted ceiling that mirrors the sky outside, long tables for each house, and the head table for professors. It's a place where students gather to eat, celebrate, and connect. The floating candles and the warmth of its golden glow make it a heartwarming sight. The moving staircases are another famous feature of the castle. They shift and rearrange themselves, adding an element of unpredictability to navigating the school. Students must stay on their toes, both figuratively and literally, when crossing them, as they might suddenly lead somewhere entirely unexpected. Each house has its own unique common room, reflecting its values and character. Gryffindor's common room, located in a cozy tower, features a roaring fireplace and squashy armchairs. Hufflepuff's, near the kitchens, is warm and welcoming, filled with plants and natural light. Ravenclaw's tower boasts an airy, elegant space with celestial decor, while Slytherin's common room, hidden beneath the lake, is cool and mysterious, lit by an eerie green glow. The castle is filled with secret passages and hidden chambers, like the Room of Requirement, which appears only to those who truly need it. This room can transform into anything its seeker desires, from a training space to a hiding place, making it one of Hogwarts' most magical features. The library, with its endless rows of books and restricted section, is a haven for students like Hermione. It holds centuries of magical knowledge, from advanced spells to the deepest secrets of wizardry. Even the grounds of Hogwarts add to its charm. The Black Lake, the Forbidden Forest, and the Quidditch pitch are integral to life at the school, offering both adventure and challenges to students who venture there. Hogwarts architecture isn't just beautiful, it's alive, changing, and adapting to the needs of its inhabitants. It's a castle full of personality, where every corner holds a story, and every door could lead to something extraordinary. It's no wonder that so many fans consider it the magical home they've always dreamed of. At Hogwarts, the curriculum is as magical as the castle itself. From practical spellcasting to the study of ancient runes, the classes at Hogwarts teach students the skills and knowledge they need to navigate the wizarding world. Each subject offers a glimpse into the depth and wonder of magic, brought to life by a memorable roster of professors. One of the most iconic classes is Defense Against the Dark Arts, where students learn how to protect themselves against magical threats. From casting Patronuses to battling Boggarts, this class is essential for any young witch or wizard. Though the position is notoriously cursed, professors like Remus Lupin and Mad-Eye Moody, or rather, his imposter, left lasting impressions on their students. Potions, taught by the strict and enigmatic Severus Snape, focuses on the precise art of brewing magical mixtures. though Snape's stern demeanour often intimidated his students, his mastery of the subject and complex character made him one of the most fascinating professors at Hogwarts. Transfiguration, led by the brilliant Professor McGonagall, is the study of changing one object into another. McGonagall's sharp wit and unwavering dedication made her a role model, and her ability to transform into a cat added an extra layer of charm to her character. Herbology, taught by the kind and knowledgeable Professor Sprout, takes students into the greenhouses to learn about magical plants and their uses. From mandrakes to devil's snare, herbology highlights the close connection between magic and nature. Charms class, led by the cheerful Professor Flitwick, teaches spells that are essential for daily magical life, like levitation and summoning. Flitwick's enthusiasm and expertise make this class a favourite among students. Other subjects, like astronomy, history of magic, and care of magical creatures, provide a well-rounded magical education. Hagrid's passion for magical creatures is infectious, even if his lessons occasionally involve a bit more danger than students expect. Hogwarts professors are more than just teachers. They're mentors and role models who shape their students' journeys. Each one brings a unique perspective and personality to their subject, making Hogwarts not just a place of learning, but a place of inspiration and discovery. The magical classes and professors of Hogwarts remind us of the endless possibilities of learning and the importance of the mentors who guide us along the way. Hogwarts Castle is more than just a school. It's a labyrinth of secrets, hidden passages, and magical wonders that never cease to amaze. These mysteries add to the enchantment of the castle, making it a place where the unexpected can happen at any moment. One of the most intriguing secrets is the Room of Requirement, a magical space that only appears when someone is in great need. From providing a place for the DA to train in secret, to hiding dangerous artifacts like the diadem of Rowena Ravenclaw, the room's ability to transform is one of the castle's most fascinating features. The Chamber of Secrets is another legendary mystery. Created by Salazar Slytherin, it was hidden deep beneath the castle, accessible only by a parcel mouth. Within its walls lurked the deadly basilisk, which played a central role in Harry's second year at Hogwarts. The chamber's existence reveals the darker side of the castle's history, tied to Slytherin's divisive legacy. The Marauders map, created by 4 mischievous students, Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs, unlocks the castle's hidden passageways. The map not only shows the layout of Hogwarts, but also the real-time locations of everyone inside. It's a testament to the ingenuity and playful spirit of the Marauders, as well as a handy tool for mischief. Hogwarts' moving staircases and disappearing doors add another layer of mystery. Navigating the castle can feel like solving a puzzle, as paths shift and reveal themselves seemingly at will. Even long-time students admit that the castle has a mind of its own. The Forbidden Forest, though outside the castle, is closely tied to its mysteries. Filled with centaurs, acromantulas, and thestrals, the forest is a place of both danger and discovery. Despite its name, it often serves as the backdrop for key moments, like Harry's first encounter with Voldemort in his weakened form. Ghosts like Nearly Headless Nick and the Bloody Baron also add to the castle's mystique. Their presence offers glimpses into the history of Hogwarts and the lives, or afterlives, of those who once called it home. Hogwarts mysteries remind us that the castle is alive in its own way, constantly revealing new surprises and adventures. They embody the magic of the wizarding world, where the unknown is always just around the corner, waiting to be discovered. Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry has educated generations of witches and wizards, many of whom have gone on to shape the magical world in extraordinary ways. Its halls have seen the footsteps of heroes, villains, and everyone in between, each leaving their mark on the castle's history. The most famous of all is, of course, Harry Potter, the boy who lived. Harry's years at Hogwarts were filled with triumphs and challenges, from mastering Quidditch as the youngest Seeker in a century to uncovering the truth about his connection to Voldemort. His time at Hogwarts forged unbreakable bonds of friendship and prepared him for his ultimate battle against the Dark Lord. Hermione Granger, often regarded as the brightest witch of her age, excelled in every subject and played a pivotal role in the fight against Voldemort. Her intellect and resourcefulness often saved the trio in dire situations, proving that brains can be as powerful as brawn. Ron Weasley, Harry's loyal best friend, grew from an overshadowed sibling into a courageous and capable wizard. His humour and bravery made him an irreplaceable part of the trio, and his journey highlighted the importance of friendship and self-belief. Other notable students include Tom Riddle, who would later become Lord Voldemort. His time at Hogwarts revealed his cunning and dark ambition, as well as his fascination with the Chamber of Secrets and Horcruxes. Riddle's story is a haunting reminder of how the choices made at Hogwarts can shape a wizard's future. Albus Dumbledore himself was once a student at Hogwarts, sorting into Gryffindor and quickly earning a reputation for his brilliance. His connection to the school remained throughout his life, as he returned as a professor and later as the revered headmaster who guided Harry in his quest to defeat Voldemort. Neville Longbottom, who began his time at Hogwarts as a shy and clumsy student, emerged as a true hero. His courage in standing up to Voldemort during the Battle of Hogwarts, wielding the sword of Gryffindor to destroy Nagini, solidified his place among the greats. Hogwarts also produced notable alumni like Minerva McGonagall, a transfiguration master and steadfast protector of the school, and Newt Scamander, the famed magizoologist whose love for magical creatures left an enduring legacy. The students and alumni of Hogwarts remind us that greatness can come from the most unexpected places. Each one's journey reflects the magic of the school and its power to shape the future of the wizarding world. Hogwarts wasn't just a school during Voldemort's rise, it became a symbol of resistance and a refuge for those fighting against darkness. The castle's walls witnessed acts of bravery, sacrifice, and unity that defined the battle between good and evil. During Harry's time at Hogwarts, the school played a central role in uncovering Voldemort's plans. From discovering the Chamber of Secrets to learning about Horcruxes, Hogwarts provided the clues and resources that helped Harry and his friends prepare for their ultimate confrontation with the Dark Lord. The castle itself, with its hidden passages and magical defences, became a character in this fight, offering protection and guidance when it was most needed. The creation of Dumbledore's army, the DA, in Harry's 5th year, was one of the most pivotal moments in the resistance against Voldemort. Led by Harry and hosted in the Room of Requirement, the group trained in defense against the dark arts, learning spells and tactics to defend themselves. The DA became a symbol of defiance against the oppressive rule of Dolores Umbridge and later Voldemort's regime. Hogwarts also served as the battleground for the Second Wizarding War's climactic event, the Battle of Hogwarts. Students, teachers and members of the Order of the Phoenix joined forces to protect the school from Voldemort and his Death Eaters. Heroes like Neville Longbottom, Luna Lovegood and Ginny Weasley stepped up, demonstrating the courage and determination of Hogwarts students. The castle itself became an active participant in the battle. Enchanted suits of armour and magical statues came to life to fight alongside the defenders, while the castle's protective enchantments shielded it from Voldemort's forces for as long as possible. The destruction of Hogwarts during the battle was a stark reminder of the sacrifices made in the fight for freedom. Even in the face of loss, Hogwarts stood as a beacon of hope. The bravery shown by its inhabitants during the Battle of Hogwarts underscored the values the school was built on: courage, loyalty, and the belief in standing up for what is right. Hogwarts' role in the fight against Voldemort reminds us that it's more than just a school. It's a symbol of resilience, community, and the enduring power of good. It's a place where heroes are made, and its legacy continues to inspire us all. The magic of Hogwarts isn't just in the Harry Potter stories, it's also in the extraordinary effort that brought the castle to life on screen. Behind the scenes, filmmakers, designers, and actors worked tirelessly to ensure that Hogwarts felt as real as the world J.K. Rowling imagined. The exterior of Hogwarts was created using a highly detailed miniature model constructed at Leavesden Studios. This massive model, complete with tiny windows, bridges, and towers, was used for sweeping exterior shots throughout the films. The level of detail was so impressive that even the smallest bricks were carved to look authentic. Inside the castle, iconic spaces like the Great Hall were full-scale sets. The Great Hall was built with real stone floors and enormous tables, creating a timeless and immersive atmosphere. The floating candles, however, were a mix of real and digital effects. While actual candles were used in early scenes, they were later replaced with CGI to avoid accidents during filming. The moving staircases were another feat of engineering and creativity. Practical sets were combined with CGI to make the staircases appear alive. The filmmakers also designed clever transitions to show students navigating the castle's ever-changing layout. The common rooms of each house were meticulously designed to reflect their unique personalities. Gryffindor's common room featured warm tones and cozy furniture, while Slytherin's had a darker, more regal look with green and silver accents. Ravenclaw's airy design emphasized elegance and intellect, while Hufflepuff's space felt earthy and welcoming. Costuming added another layer of magic to Hogwarts. Robes were carefully crafted to fit the characters' personalities, and even subtle details like house crests and scarf patterns reflected the students' identities. As the films progressed, the robes became more tailored to give a modern feel while maintaining their traditional look. Even the food in the Great Hall was real. During early filming, elaborate feasts were prepared to create an authentic dining atmosphere. However, the heat from the lights made it difficult to keep the food fresh, so later films used realistic replicas to achieve the same effect. The behind-the-scenes work that brought Hogwarts to life is a testament to the dedication and creativity of the filmmakers. Their attention to detail ensured that Hogwarts felt like a real, magical place, a home for fans both on screen and in their imaginations. Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry is more than a setting in the Harry Potter series. It's a symbol of magic, adventure, and the sense of belonging we all seek. Its towering spires, hidden passageways, and enchanted halls have captured the imaginations of millions, making it one of the most iconic fictional places ever created. Hogwarts is a place where bravery is celebrated, friendships are forged, and mysteries are waiting to be discovered. It's where Harry found his true family, where Hermione and Ron discovered their courage, and where countless witches and wizards grew into their potential. What makes Hogwarts so enduring is its ability to feel like home. Whether you're picturing the warm glow of the Gryffindor common room, the quiet grandeur of the library, or the breathtaking magic of the Great Hall, there's something comforting about imagining yourself within its walls. As you close your eyes tonight, let yourself wander through its corridors. Imagine the soft flicker of candlelight, the hum of life in the common rooms, and the peaceful stillness of the Black Lake beyond its grounds. Let Hogwarts remind you of the magic within you and the importance of the choices we make. Hermione was more than just the clever one. She was the heart of the trio. Her love for learning, her unwavering moral compass, and her bravery in the face of danger shaped not just the wizarding world, but also the hearts of millions. As we explore Hermione's journey, her friendships, and the magic behind her character, let yourself drift into the peaceful world of Hogwarts. Picture the warm candlelight reflecting off the ancient books in the library, the quiet rustling of parchment, and the soft whisper of spells being cast. Now, let's begin. Hermione Granger's story begins long before her time at Hogwarts. Rooted in a world far from magic, born to two Muggle parents, both dentists, Hermione was raised in a supportive and academically focused household. Even before discovering her magical abilities, she had a natural curiosity and love for learning that set her apart. Her magical journey began when she received her Hogwarts letter, a life-changing moment that revealed her true identity as a witch. For Hermione, this discovery was more than exciting, it was empowering. As a Muggle-born, she hadn't grown up around magic like many of her classmates, yet she was determined to learn everything she could about the wizarding world. This curiosity quickly became her defining trait, even before she arrived at Hogwarts. To prepare for her first year, Hermione read as much as possible, memorizing spells and magical theory long before stepping foot in the castle. She wasn't just excited, she wanted to prove herself. Being a Muggle born in a world where bloodline mattered to some, Hermione felt the pressure to show that she belonged, and her work ethic reflected that. Yet, her intelligence wasn't just academic. She was deeply compassionate and protective, even as a young witch. She stood up for Neville Longbottom during their first flying lesson, defended the importance of house elves' rights through spew, and consistently used her knowledge to protect those she cared about. Her early life shaped Hermione into someone who valued education, empathy, and fairness, qualities that would define her throughout the series. She wasn't just gifted with magic, she was driven, curious, and unafraid to challenge injustice. As you close your eyes, imagine the moment Hermione first entered the Hogwarts library. Ancient shelves stretching endlessly, candlelight reflecting off worn book covers, and the soft sound of pages turning as she discovered the endless wonders of the magical world. Hermione's journey at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry began with her sorting into Gryffindor House. Though her qualities could have easily placed her in Ravenclaw due to her intelligence and love for learning, but Gryffindor was the right choice, not just for her courage, but for the friendships and bravery she would show throughout her years at the castle. From the start, Hermione stood out as exceptionally gifted. Her mastery of spells, potions, and magical theory often made her the top student in her year. But this same brilliance sometimes isolated her. She was seen as a know-it-all by her classmates, and her constant eagerness to answer questions earned her teasing early on, especially from Ron. However, her defining moment in first year came when she showed that true friendship mattered more than being right. After Ron's hurtful comments about her being insufferable, Hermione retreated to the girls' bathroom, only to find herself trapped with a rampaging troll. It was in that life-threatening moment when Harry and Ron risked their own safety to help her, forming a friendship that would last a lifetime. Her famous line afterward, "I'm not mad at you, I'm just disappointed," was the first glimpse of her emotional depth and loyalty to her friends. Throughout her years at Hogwarts, Hermione's dedication to learning became essential to the trio's success. She was the one who figured out how to defeat the Devil's Snare, brewed Polyjuice Potion, and even mastered spells long before they were taught, like the Patronus Charm. Yet, she wasn't just book smart, she was brave. Volunteering to use the Time Turner in Prisoner of Azkaban and leading Dumbledore's army in Order of the Phoenix showed how her courage grew alongside her intellect. Hermione also learned to balance her perfectionism with emotional growth. Her friendship with Harry and Ron softened her sharp edges, teaching her that knowledge wasn't the only kind of strength. She grew more patient, more empathetic, and more emotionally open as the years went by. Her Hogwarts journey wasn't just about academics, it was about discovering her own heart, embracing the importance of friendship, and learning that true wisdom comes from both knowledge and kindness. As you drift off to sleep, imagine Hermione studying quietly in the Gryffindor common room, the fire crackling softly, her books stacked beside her as the castle settles into peaceful silence for the night. Hermione's friendship with Harry Potter and Ron Weasley became the emotional heart of the Harry Potter series, a bond built on trust, loyalty, and growth. What started as an unlikely trio, an orphan boy with a mysterious past, a girl who valued knowledge above all, and a boy seeking to prove himself, evolved into one of the most powerful friendships in literature. Her connection with Harry was built on mutual understanding. Hermione supported him from the very beginning, often acting as the voice of reason during their adventures. When Harry felt lost or overwhelmed by the weight of being the boy who lived, Hermione was there with logic and emotional support. She never hesitated to stand by him, whether it was helping him prepare for the Triwizard Tournament or believing in him when no one else did during the rise of Voldemort in Order of the Phoenix. But it wasn't just support. Hermione challenged Harry to be better. She held him accountable, often reminding him to stay grounded and think things through. Her unwavering honesty, even when uncomfortable, made her more than a friend. She was a guiding force, helping him grow into the hero he became. Her relationship with Ron was more complicated, but just as meaningful. Initially, their friendship was filled with playful teasing and occasional arguments. Ron's laid-back nature clashed with Hermione's perfectionism, leading to bickering that often hid deeper feelings. Yet, beneath the teasing was a profound emotional connection that slowly blossomed into love. Ron and Hermione balanced each other perfectly. Ron reminded Hermione not to take life too seriously, while Hermione pushed Ron to believe in himself. When Ron left during their quest for Horcruxes in Deathly Hallows, it wasn't just a plot twist. It was a deeply emotional fracture that tested their friendship. Yet, his return, filled with genuine remorse, showed how powerful their bond had become. Hermione's ability to forgive and Ron's emotional growth showed how real friendships face challenges, but true connections endure. Together, the trio complemented one another: Harry's courage, Hermione's wisdom, and Ron's heart, proving that the greatest strength often comes not from individual power, but from standing together. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the three of them sitting quietly in the Gryffindor common room. Harry focused, Ron cracking a quiet joke, and Hermione, as always, gently guiding them forward. A friendship built not on magic, but on trust, compassion, and the power of standing by one another. Hermione Granger's personality is a blend of intelligence, compassion, and quiet strength, making her one of the most inspiring characters in the Harry Potter series. While she's often remembered for her academic brilliance, her true power comes from her emotional depth, courage, and unwavering sense of justice. At her core, Hermione is defined by her intellect. From the moment she steps onto the Hogwarts Express, her love for learning is clear. She devours books, memorizes spells before they're even taught, and excels in nearly every subject, from charms to arithmancy. Her thirst for knowledge isn't just about personal achievement. It's rooted in a genuine desire to understand the magical world and use that knowledge for good. But Hermione's brilliance goes far beyond academics. Her problem-solving skills often save the trio during their adventures. She's the one who figures out how to defeat the Devil's Snare, unlocks the mystery of the Basilisk in Chamber of Secrets, and masters defensive spells like the Protego and Patronus Charm long before her classmates. Yet Hermione's greatest strength isn't just her mind, it's her compassion. She stands up for those who can't defend themselves, whether it's supporting Neville Longbottom in their first flying lesson, or founding the Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare to fight for the rights of house elves. Even when facing dangerous threats, Hermione's first instinct is to protect others, like shielding Harry and Ron from the Dementors with her Patronus in Prisoner of Azkaban. Her courage is another defining trait. Though she started off hesitant to break rules, Hermione grew bolder with each passing year. She willingly fought Death Eaters, stood her ground against Professor Umbridge, and took part in the final battle at Hogwarts without hesitation. Her bravery wasn't loud, it was quiet, steadfast, and rooted in doing what was right, even when it was hard. Of course, Hermione wasn't perfect. Her perfectionism and need for control sometimes made her stubborn, and her blunt honesty occasionally hurt those closest to her, especially Ron. But these flaws only made her more relatable, showing that even the most gifted people struggle with self-doubt and emotional growth. Ultimately, Hermione teaches us that strength isn't just about power, it's about using knowledge, empathy, and courage to make the world better. She reminds us that being smart isn't about having all the answers, but knowing when to stand up for what's right. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the soft flicker of candlelight in the Hogwarts library, Hermione reading quietly with a stack of worn books beside her, the sound of parchment turning, peaceful, steady, and full of quiet strength. Throughout the Harry Potter series, Hermione Granger experienced countless heroic moments that defined her bravery, intelligence, and emotional growth. While she was often known for her academic excellence, it was her quick thinking and moral courage that truly made her a hero. One of Hermione's earliest acts of heroism occurred during her first year at Hogwarts, when she helped Harry and Ron navigate the series of magical obstacles guarding the Philosopher's Stone. Her knowledge of spells, like using Lumos Solum against the Devil's Snare, and her understanding of logic puzzles were critical in helping the trio succeed. It was a moment where her intelligence directly saved lives, proving that knowledge itself could be a powerful form of courage. In her second year, Hermione once again proved her importance during the Chamber of Secrets mystery. When students began turning to stone, it was Hermione who cracked the code, identifying the basilisk as the creature moving through the castle's pipes. Even after being petrified, she left clues behind that ultimately helped Harry and Ron solve the mystery, showing how her careful thinking extended beyond personal safety. By her third year, Hermione's courage evolved even further when she used the time turner to save both Buckbeak and Sirius Black. The complexity of using time travel, combined with her responsibility to keep the timeline intact, showed a new level of maturity. She didn't just learn magic, she learned restraint and responsibility in wielding it. Hermione's bravery became even more personal in Goblet of Fire, where she stood up against injustice with the founding of SPEW, the Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare. Though her efforts to free house elves were often misunderstood, it revealed her sense of justice, even when the cause was unpopular. In Order of the Phoenix, Hermione became a leader. When Hogwarts was taken over by Dolores Umbridge, it was Hermione who inspired the formation of Dumbledore's army, teaching her classmates defensive spells in secret. Her leadership skills, paired with her magical expertise, empowered others to fight back against injustice, making her one of the true heroes of the series. Perhaps one of her most emotional moments came during Deathly Hallows, when she chose to stay by Harry's side despite overwhelming danger. She wiped her parents' memories to protect them, sacrificing her own happiness for their safety. She also showed remarkable courage when Bellatrix Lestrange tortured her at Malfoy Manor, refusing to give up information, even in the face of pain and fear. Hermione's heroism wasn't just about bravery in battle, it was about standing for what's right, thinking critically, and showing unwavering loyalty. She faced fear not with strength alone, but with intellect, empathy, and determination. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the sound of distant spells echoing softly through the halls of Hogwarts. Hermione standing tall, wand at the ready, reminding you that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's doing what's right, even when you're scared. Hermione Granger's relationship with Ron Weasley was one of the most emotional and slow-burning romances in the Harry Potter series, growing from playful tension and bickering into a deep, genuine love built on trust and personal growth. At the beginning of their friendship, Ron and Hermione often clashed. Ron's laid-back, carefree attitude contrasted with Hermione's perfectionism and love for rules. Their frequent arguments, especially during their first few years at Hogwarts, masked a growing emotional connection that neither fully understood yet. Moments like Ron teasing Hermione for her know-it-all behaviour and Hermione correcting Ron's spell pronunciation became part of their dynamic. However, beneath the teasing was a foundation of mutual care and support. When Ron risked his life during the Wizards' chess game in their first year, it showed Hermione that he wasn't just a joker, he was brave and selfless. Likewise, when Hermione stayed by Ron's side after he was poisoned in Half-Blood Prince, it revealed how deeply she cared for him, even when words failed to express it. Their relationship began to shift in Goblet of Fire, when Ron's jealousy over Hermione attending the Yule Ball with Victor Krum became obvious. His frustration wasn't just about Krum, it was his growing feelings for Hermione that he didn't yet know how to express. Hermione, too, felt the tension, but remained emotionally guarded, hurt by Ron's immaturity. By the later books, especially in Half-Blood Prince, their emotional tension reached its peak when Ron dated Lavender Brown. This relationship wasn't about love. It was Ron's clumsy way of dealing with his unresolved feelings for Hermione. Her hurt was clear, but rather than turning away from him, Hermione showed patience, letting Ron grow emotionally. Their most profound emotional breakthrough came in Deathly Hallows. Ron's departure during the Horcrux hunt was a heartbreaking fracture in their relationship. Influenced by the locket, Ron's deep-seated fears of being unwanted and overshadowed pushed him to leave, but his return was powerful. Not just an apology, but a sign of emotional maturity and vulnerability. Hermione's tearful forgiveness was a turning point, showing how love can endure even after pain. Their relationship was ultimately sealed in the Battle of Hogwarts, when Ron suggested rescuing the house elves from danger, a cause Hermione had championed for years. Overcome with emotion, she kissed him for the first time, an impulsive yet heartfelt moment of love blossoming in the midst of chaos. Ron and Hermione's romance wasn't perfect, and that's what made it so meaningful. It was built on growth, emotional honesty, and the willingness to forgive, making it feel as real as the magical world around them. As you drift off tonight, imagine the two of them standing quietly in the Gryffindor common room, the fire flickering softly, their bickering now replaced by quiet laughter. A love story built not on perfection, but on patience, friendship, and trust. Behind the scenes, Hermione Granger was brought to life by Emma Watson, whose portrayal added depth, intelligence, and emotional strength to the character. But Hermione's journey from page to screen wasn't just about magic. It was shaped by fascinating moments and choices that made her even more unforgettable. Emma was just 9 years old when she was cast as Hermione, and like the character she portrayed, she was driven, determined, and full of curiosity. Though she had never acted professionally before, her audition impressed J.K. Rowling and the producers almost instantly. From the beginning, she captured Hermione's spirit perfectly, brilliant, bold, and brave. But Emma didn't just play Hermione, she embodied her. While filming, she was so dedicated to her schoolwork that she often completed her assignments on set, balancing her education with the demands of a global film franchise. In fact, during Prisoner of Azkaban, the essays Hermione was seen working on were real. Emma wrote them herself, completely in character, a true reflection of Hermione's perfectionism and love for learning. Emma also helped shape Hermione in ways that went beyond the books. One of the most emotional moments in the entire series, the scene where Hermione erases her parents' memories in Deathly Hallows Part 1, wasn't part of the original story. It was added in the films to emphasize just how much Hermione was sacrificing. Emma's quiet, tearful performance, with no dialogue, spoke volumes about the depth of her love and courage. Of course, Hermione wasn't all seriousness. Emma brought humor and authenticity to the role too. One of the most charming behind-the-scenes moments was when Emma, fully in character, kept accidentally mouthing other characters' lines during filming because she had memorized the entire script, a classic Hermione move. Even Hermione's appearance evolved along with her character. In the early films, her frizzy hair and bookish look reflected her shy, reserved nature. But by the time of the Yule Ball in Goblet of Fire, her transformation symbolized personal growth, confidence, emotional maturity, and a new vulnerability as she opened herself up to deeper feelings, especially toward Ron. There were moments, though, when the pressure almost became too much. During the filming of Order of the Phoenix, Emma seriously considered leaving the series, overwhelmed by the demands of fame and schoolwork. But her love for the character and the support from fans kept her going, proving her resilience both on and off screen. In many ways, Emma Watson didn't just portray Hermione, she became a part of her legacy. J.K. Rowling once shared that Hermione was inspired by her own younger self, clever, determined, and sometimes misunderstood. Emma's performance stayed true to that vision, while expanding Hermione into a role model who continues to inspire young people around the world. As you close your eyes tonight, picture the quiet magic of the Harry Potter set, the flicker of candlelight in the Great Hall, the rustle of robes, the sound of a director calling action one last time, bringing to life a character who taught us all that courage, kindness, and intelligence are some of the greatest forms of magic. Hermione Granger's story leaves us with a powerful message. Being strong doesn't mean being fearless. True strength comes from standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult, and using your voice, your heart, and your mind to make a difference. Hermione was never defined by magic alone. She showed that intelligence is a form of bravery, that kindness is a form of power, that speaking up for those who can't, whether it was Neville, the house elves, or even her friends, takes more courage than casting the most powerful spell. She faced challenges far beyond schoolwork, the pressure of being a muggle-born in a world where blood status mattered, the weight of protecting those she loved, the sacrifices she made, from wiping her parents' memories to standing alongside Harry and Ron in the fight against Voldemort. Through all of it, she never let fear stop her from doing what was right. Hermione taught us that you don't need to be perfect to be a hero. You can be scared. You can have moments of doubt. But what matters most is the choice to keep going, to keep standing, to keep learning, and to keep believing in yourself and others. Her story reminds us that being clever can change the world, that loyalty matters, that sometimes the quietest heroes leave the loudest impact. So as you close your eyes tonight, let Hermione's story remind you of your own strength. Picture the warm glow of the Gryffindor common room, the quiet crackle of the fire, the sound of turning pages echoing softly. Let the courage of Hermione Granger stay with you as you drift into peaceful sleep, knowing that strength, kindness, and wisdom are already within you. Known for his humour, loyalty, and occasional moments of self-doubt, Ron is more than just the best friend of the famous Harry Potter. He's a character filled with depth, growth, and heartfelt moments that have made him a fan favourite for generations. As we journey through Ron's story, his friendships, and even a few behind-the-scenes facts, let your mind drift to the magical halls of Hogwarts. Imagine the crackling fireplace of the Gryffindor common room, the sound of rain softly hitting the castle windows, and the comforting feeling of being surrounded by friends. Let's begin. Ron Weasley was born into one of the most beloved wizarding families in the Harry Potter series, the Weasley family. Known for their warmth, humour, and strong bonds, Ron was the sixth of 7 children, growing up in the cosy, yet slightly chaotic burrow, a magical home filled with charm, mismatched furniture, and a sense of constant activity. His parents, Molly and Arthur Weasley, raised their children with love, despite financial struggles. Arthur's fascination with Muggle inventions and Molly's caring but strict nature shaped the close-knit dynamic of the household. Ron grew up alongside his older brothers, Bill, Charlie, Percy, Fred, and George, and his younger sister, Ginny. Being the youngest boy often left him feeling overshadowed by his siblings' accomplishments. From Bill's success at Gringotts to Charlie's dragon-taming adventures and Percy's academic achievements, Fred and George, the mischievous twins, were particularly influential in Ron's life. Though they often teased him, their playful antics also taught Ron the importance of humour and family loyalty. Ginny, the youngest, shared a special bond with Ron, especially as they both attended Hogwarts together and often looked out for one another. Ron's family background shaped his personality in many ways. Growing up in a modest household made him humble and grounded, but also left him self-conscious about his hand-me-down robes, worn-out school supplies, and his desire to prove himself. Despite his insecurities, the love and support of his family gave him a deep sense of loyalty and courage. The Weasleys' strong moral values and their kindness, even to outsiders like Harry, helped define Ron's character. When Harry first visited the Burrow, he experienced true family warmth for the first time, showing how much the Weasleys valued kindness and friendship over wealth. Ron's upbringing wasn't defined by privilege or perfection, but by the values of love, humour, and loyalty, traits that would shape him into the courageous friend and hero he would become throughout his years at Hogwarts. As you drift off to sleep, imagine the cosy, cluttered kitchen of the Burrow, the scent of Molly's homemade treacle tart filling the air, and the soft hum of a clock that tracks each family member, reminding you of the comfort of home. Ron Weasley's journey at Hogwarts begins in his very first year when he boards the Hogwarts Express and meets Harry Potter for the first time. What starts as a simple conversation over shared sweets quickly blossoms into one of the most iconic friendships in the wizarding world. From the very beginning, Ron's warmth, humour and kindness made him a loyal companion for Harry, even when their adventures became dangerous. Arriving at Hogwarts, Ron was sorted into Gryffindor House, known for its bravery and courage. Though he came from a long line of Gryffindors, Ron often struggled with self-doubt, feeling overshadowed by his older siblings' achievements. His first year, however, revealed his bravery early on. Ron's defining moment came during the life-sized wizard's chess game in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, where he sacrificed himself on the chessboard to help Harry and Hermione reach the Philosopher's Stone, showcasing his courage and strategic mind. Throughout his school years, Ron's friendship with Harry and Hermione only grew stronger, though he occasionally clashed with Hermione's perfectionism and struggled with feelings of being overlooked next to Harry's fame. Ron was a steady, dependable presence in their trio. His humour often lightened difficult situations, but his loyalty was his strongest trait, even when facing life-threatening challenges like battling giant spiders in Chamber of Secrets or defending Buckbeak the Hippogriff. Ron wasn't just a sidekick, he was a hero in his own right. His involvement in critical moments like destroying Slytherin's Locket Horcrux in Deathly Hallows showed his emotional depth and personal growth. The Locket preyed on his deepest fears, being unworthy, overlooked, and second best. But overcoming it proved his strength was more than physical bravery, it was emotional resilience. His time at Hogwarts wasn't only about danger and dark magic. Ron loved Quidditch, joining the Gryffindor team as keeper and overcoming his nerves to help lead his house to victory. His journey was marked by triumphs and personal challenges, from his struggles with self-confidence to moments of emotional growth alongside his friends. Ron's years at Hogwarts transformed him from an unsure young boy into a courageous, compassionate wizard who stood side by side with the greatest heroes of his time. His journey reminds us that bravery isn't about being fearless, it's about standing strong even when you're scared. As you drift off, imagine the warm, flickering glow of Gryffindor's common room fireplace, the quiet turning of pages, and the soft chatter of students unwinding after a long day of magic and friendship. Ron Weasley's friendship with Harry Potter and Hermione Granger is one of the most iconic bonds in the Harry Potter series. Together, they form a trio that represents loyalty, wisdom, and courage. Three qualities that defined their success in facing countless dangers during their time at Hogwarts and beyond. Ron's friendship with Harry began the moment they met on the Hogwarts Express. Though Harry was famous as the boy who lived, Ron never treated him as anything other than a regular person. Their friendship was built on shared experiences, both coming from humble backgrounds in different ways. Ron grew up feeling overlooked among his many siblings, while Harry experienced neglect in the Dursley household. Their bond grew stronger through shared challenges, from sneaking out at night under the invisibility cloak to standing side by side in dangerous battles. Ron also played a key role in grounding Harry emotionally. While Harry often faced overwhelming pressure and fame, Ron reminded him what it meant to be a regular kid, sharing laughs, playing wizard chess, and complaining about homework. However, their friendship wasn't without challenges. Moments of jealousy surfaced, like when Ron felt overshadowed by Harry's fame during the Triwizard Tournament. But these conflicts only made their friendship stronger as they overcame them. Ron's relationship with Hermione was equally complex, but just as important. Initially, the two clashed often. Ron found Hermione's intelligence overwhelming, while she was frustrated by his laid-back attitude. But over time, Ron grew to deeply respect Hermione's brilliance, and she learned to appreciate his humor and loyalty. Their bickering often masked deeper feelings. As their friendship gradually developed into something more meaningful, Hermione and Ron balanced each other perfectly. She provided logic and planning, while Ron brought emotional support and humor to ease tension during difficult moments. When Ron left, during their search for Horcruxes in Deathly Hallows. It wasn't out of a lack of loyalty, but the ring's corruptive influence preying on his insecurities. His heartfelt return, an apology to both Harry and Hermione, showed emotional growth and reinforced his bond with both. The strength of their trio wasn't just about shared danger, it was about balance. Ron's humour softened Hermione's seriousness. Harry's courage inspired Ron to overcome his self-doubt. Hermione's wisdom guided them when plans seemed impossible. Together, they were stronger than any individual could have been alone. As you drift off to sleep, imagine the trio sitting quietly in the Gryffindor common room, the fire crackling softly, Harry polishing his broomstick, Hermione reading, and Ron cracking a quiet joke, their friendship stronger than ever in the warm glow of candlelight. Ron Weasley's personality is a blend of courage, humour, and emotional depth, making him one of the most relatable characters in the Harry Potter series. While he's often remembered for his witty remarks and occasional insecurities, Ron's strengths run much deeper, showing bravery, loyalty, and heart when it matters most. At his core, Ron is fiercely loyal. His unwavering support for Harry, even when facing life-threatening challenges, defines much of his character. Whether it's standing by Harry in the face of rumours in Chamber of Secrets, or defending him against doubters during the Triwizard Tournament, Ron consistently proves his dedication to his friends, even when the odds seem impossible. Ron's humour is another defining trait. His light-hearted nature often provides comic relief during intense moments, reminding the group to stay grounded even in the darkest situations. His sarcastic remarks and playful teasing, especially with Hermione and his siblings, show how humour is his way of coping with stress and fear. However, Ron's bravery often goes overlooked, hidden beneath his self-doubt. He doesn't always see himself as a hero, feeling overshadowed by his famous best friend and his accomplished older brothers. Despite these insecurities, Ron's courage reveals itself time and time again. From sacrificing himself in the life-sized chess game during the Philosopher's Stone to facing the Horcrux locket's dark influence in Deathly Hallows, Ron shows that true bravery is standing strong despite fear. Ron's emotional depth is also seen in his moments of vulnerability, his jealousy, and moments of self-doubt, such as when he feels excluded during the Triwizard Tournament, or when he temporarily leaves Harry and Hermione during their quest for Horcruxes, make him a complex and realistic character. Yet, his ability to acknowledge mistakes and seek forgiveness shows significant growth throughout the series. Beyond his friendships, Ron values family deeply. His protective nature toward Ginny, his bond with his brothers, and his eventual romantic relationship with Hermione all emphasize how important emotional connections are to him. Ron teaches us that courage isn't about being fearless, it's about standing up for what matters, even when you feel small. His journey reminds us that being a hero isn't about perfection, but about heart, loyalty, and the willingness to try. As you drift off tonight, imagine the warmth of the Burrow's cozy kitchen, the scent of homemade pumpkin pasties, and the sound of laughter echoing through the house, where love and friendship make even the simplest moments magical. Ron Weasley's journey throughout the Harry Potter series is filled with unforgettable moments that define his courage, loyalty, and personal growth. While he often saw himself as the sidekick next to Harry's fame, Ron's actions repeatedly proved he was a hero in his own right. One of Ron's most iconic moments came during his first year at Hogwarts, when he sacrificed himself during the life-sized wizard's chess match in the Philosopher's Stone. Understanding the stakes, Ron bravely took his place as a knight, knowing it would mean getting knocked unconscious so Harry could continue the quest to stop Voldemort. It was the first time his bravery truly shone through, setting the tone for his future growth. In his second year, Ron faced his intense fear of spiders to help rescue Hermione and uncover the mystery of the Chamber of Secrets. His loyalty to Harry was evident as he ventured into the Forbidden Forest. Despite his lifelong arachnophobia, his broken wand and accidental slug-vomiting charm earlier that year also added humour, while showcasing his resilience despite constant challenges. By third year, Ron's emotional depth surfaced when he defended Hermione's pet Crookshanks, showing how his protective nature extended to his friends even during light-hearted conflicts. His reaction when Sirius Black broke into the Gryffindor dormitory, standing protectively in front of Harry, highlighted his instinct to protect his friends, even when afraid. Ron's fourth year saw a turning point in his friendship with Harry during the Triwizard Tournament. Feeling overshadowed and jealous of Harry's fame, Ron temporarily distanced himself. Yet, when the truth was revealed, he returned as a loyal friend, showing that even the strongest friendships face challenges but can heal with understanding. Perhaps one of Ron's most emotional moments came in the Deathly Hallows, when he destroyed Slytherin's locket, a Horcrux that preyed on his deepest fears. The locket amplified his self-doubt, showing visions of being second best and overlooked. Yet, Ron overcame these fears, shattering the Horcrux and proving that his strength wasn't just physical, but emotional as well. Ron's role in the Battle of Hogwarts further solidified his heroism, from helping defend the castle to staying by Harry's side as they searched for the final Horcruxes. Ron's growth was undeniable. His courage was never about seeking recognition, but standing strong for those he loved, even in the face of danger. These moments remind us that Ron was never just a sidekick. He was a hero who faced his fears, supported his friends, and grew into a powerful wizard in his own right. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the sound of spells echoing through the Great Hall, the golden glow of Hogwarts at sunset, and the feeling of quiet bravery that lingers in the heart of every true Gryffindor. Ron Weasley's relationships, especially his romance with Hermione Granger, added emotional depth to his character throughout the Harry Potter series. What started as playful teasing and mutual frustration gradually grew into a heartfelt and genuine connection built on years of friendship and shared experiences. Ron and Hermione's relationship had a slow, natural development, rooted in their contrasting personalities. Ron, with his laid-back attitude and humour, often clashed with Hermione's rule-following nature and academic perfectionism. Yet beneath the bickering, a strong emotional connection was quietly forming. Hermione saw Ron's kindness and loyalty, while Ron admired Hermione's intelligence and bravery, even if he had trouble expressing it. Their romantic tension became more apparent in Goblet of Fire, when Hermione attended the Yule Ball with Victor Krum, sparking jealousy in Ron that he struggled to admit. His reaction, grumpy and awkward, was a clear sign that his feelings for her were deepening, even if he didn't yet understand them. By Half-Blood Prince, Ron's emotions grew more complicated. His brief relationship with Lavender Brown seemed fueled more by a desire to make Hermione jealous than genuine affection, leading to tension between them. This phase, though uncomfortable, highlighted Ron's emotional immaturity at the time and his struggle with vulnerability, something he would eventually overcome. Their relationship truly deepened in Deathly Hallows when Ron returned after temporarily leaving Harry and Hermione during the Horcrux hunt. Overcome by the corrupting influence of the Locket Horcrux and his own self-doubt, Ron left, but soon realized his mistake. His heartfelt apology, especially to Hermione, showed his emotional growth and deep care for her. It wasn't just about their quest anymore. It was about the bond they shared. Hermione's faith in Ron, despite his flaws, proved how strong their connection had become. Her trust in his ability to return, even after his departure, reflected the emotional foundation they had built over the years. Ron's romantic growth was a reflection of his overall character arc, moving from insecurity and jealousy to emotional honesty and self-acceptance. His relationship with Hermione became a symbol of how love can grow through patience, understanding, and shared struggles. As you close your eyes tonight, picture Ron and Hermione sitting by the Gryffindor common room fire, laughter echoing softly, the tension of past years replaced with quiet comfort, the kind that only true love and friendship can bring. Behind the scenes, Ron Weasley was brought to life with humour, warmth, and a touch of awkward charm by actor Rupert Grint. His portrayal felt so natural because Rupert didn't just play Ron. He was Ron in many ways, both on and off-screen. His journey with the character began with one of the most creative auditions in the entire cast. Rupert, a fan of the books even before the films, sent in a homemade video where he dressed up as a teacher and performed a rap about why he was perfect for the role. That playful, laid-back energy captured Ron's spirit perfectly and won him the part almost instantly. But there was more to Ron than just humour. Take his famous fear of spiders. That wasn't just acting. Rupert himself admitted to having a genuine fear of spiders, which made his reactions in Chamber of Secrets, especially the Aragog scene, feel even more real. Imagine facing a giant animatronic spider when you're already terrified of the real thing. Rupert also had a talent for improvisation. Many of Ron's funniest moments, like his disgusted reaction to puking pastels or his hilariously awkward dancing at the Yule Ball in Goblet of Fire, were completely unscripted. Those iconic facial expressions, the way he scrunched his face or widened his eyes, those were all him, making Ron feel even more authentic and relatable. Of course, filming such a long-running series wasn't without its funny mishaps. During Deathly Hallows, Rupert accidentally hit Daniel Radcliffe in the face during a wand choreography scene. They both burst out laughing, and the blooper ended up in some of the behind-the-scenes footage, a perfect reflection of how much fun they had making the films together. What's even more surprising is that Ron's story almost had a much darker ending. J.K. Rowling once admitted she considered killing off Ron in the final book, but in the end, she couldn't do it. His emotional depth, his loyalty, and his connection to both Harry and Hermione were too important to the heart of the story, and perhaps the most Ron-like thing Rupert did after the films ended. He bought an ice cream truck. Yes, really. For a while, he would drive around, handing out free ice cream just for fun. Something about that feels so perfectly fitting for the guy who brought Ron to life. Rupert's portrayal made Ron more than just the funny best friend. He was vulnerable, brave, and deeply relatable. He reminded us that even the most ordinary of friends could be heroes in their own way. As you drift off to sleep, imagine the quiet hum of a movie set, the warm glow of Hogwarts' Great Hall behind the cameras, and the sound of laughter between takes, a reminder that sometimes magic exists both on screen and behind it. Ron Weasley's character arc in Harry Potter is one of remarkable growth, both emotionally and personally. His journey starts with self-doubt, insecurity, and feelings of being overshadowed, but over time, he transforms into a brave, confident, and emotionally mature hero. At the beginning of the series, Ron often felt like he was living in the shadows. The sixth of 7 siblings, he grew up surrounded by older brothers who had already made their mark. Bill, the dragon-taming adventurer, Percy, the academic overachiever, and Fred and George, the mischievous pranksters who stole the spotlight with their jokes and inventions. Even Ginny, his younger sister, would later become a skilled witch in her own right. Being surrounded by such accomplished siblings left Ron struggling with feelings of being ordinary and invisible. This sense of being overlooked carried into his friendship with Harry. Standing next to the boy who lived, Ron often questioned his own importance, even though he was an essential part of their friendship. Moments like his jealousy during the Triwizard Tournament showed this vulnerability. He wasn't envious of Harry's fame, but instead afraid of being seen as second best. But as the series progressed, Ron's strength began to reveal itself, not in flashy ways, but through quiet moments of courage and loyalty. His willingness to sacrifice himself in the Wizards' chess game during their first year, his decision to face his fear of spiders in Chamber of Secrets, and his determination to stay by Harry's side through countless battles, showed a hero who didn't need recognition to prove his worth. Ron's personal growth was perhaps most visible in Deathly Hallows. When he left Harry and Hermione during their Horcrux quest, it wasn't out of weakness, it was the Horcrux preying on his deepest insecurities, whispering the fears he had always carried. Yet, when he returned, he did so stronger, acknowledging his mistakes, apologizing, and proving that growth often comes from moments of vulnerability. Ron also grew emotionally in his relationships. His bond with Hermione deepened from playful teasing into genuine love, while his loyalty to Harry became unshakable, even when faced with the darkest challenges. By the end of the series, Ron was no longer just the best friend. He was a hero in his own right, one who had faced his fears, embraced his strengths, and shown that true courage doesn't mean being fearless, but standing strong despite your doubts. As you drift off, picture Ron standing proudly in the Gryffindor common room, his wand in hand, no longer in anyone's shadow, but shining as the hero he had always been. Brave, loyal, and unbreakable. Ron Weasley's journey in Harry Potter reminds us that being a hero isn't about fame, perfection, or being the strongest. It's about heart, loyalty, and standing by the people you love, even when things feel overwhelming. Ron didn't grow up as the chosen one. He wasn't born into wealth or power. He was just a regular kid with big insecurities, constantly feeling overshadowed by his brothers and his famous best friend. But despite all that, he proved time and time again that courage doesn't come from being fearless. It comes from standing up when it matters most, from sacrificing himself in wizard's chess, to overcoming his darkest fears while destroying the Locket Horcrux. Ron showed that true strength comes from facing your doubts, not being defined by them. His emotional growth, from the funny, awkward boy on the Hogwarts Express to the brave, compassionate man who helped save the wizarding world, makes his story so powerful. Hagrid is more than just the keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts. He's a symbol of loyalty, courage, and acceptance. Hagrid has a way of making everyone feel welcome, whether he's inviting Harry, Ron, and Hermione into his cozy hut for rock cakes, or standing by Dumbledore's side in the face of danger. His story is one of resilience, compassion, and unwavering friendship, reminding us that strength comes in many forms. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore the life and legacy of Rubeus Hagrid, from his early days at Hogwarts to his unforgettable adventures with Harry and the trio. For now, imagine the warmth of Hagrid's hut, the gentle crackle of a fire, and the sound of Fang's wagging tail as we journey into the heart of Hagrid's story. Rubeus Hagrid's story begins long before he became the keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts. Born to a human father and a giantess mother named Fridwulfa, Hagrid's half-giant heritage shaped much of his early life. Despite his immense size and strength, Hagrid's kind and gentle nature always set him apart. As a young boy, Hagrid's father adored him and encouraged his love for magical creatures. But life wasn't always easy for Hagrid. Giants were often feared and misunderstood in the wizarding world, and Hagrid faced prejudice and ridicule because of his lineage. His mother left the family when Hagrid was still very young, leaving his father to raise him alone. At age 11, Hagrid received his Hogwarts letter and was sorted into Gryffindor House. Though he wasn't the best student, he showed a remarkable affinity for magical creatures, a passion that would define his life. However, Hagrid's time as a student was cut short during his third year. He was falsely accused of opening the Chamber of Secrets and releasing the basilisk that endangered students. Though he was expelled, Albus Dumbledore, who was then a professor, believed in Hagrid's innocence and allowed him to stay at Hogwarts as the keeper of keys and grounds. Despite the unfairness of his expulsion, Hagrid never let it embitter him. Instead, he used his position to care for the castle grounds, forge lifelong friendships, and nurture his love for magical creatures. His resilience and determination to remain kind in the face of adversity became one of his defining traits. Hagrid's early life is a testament to his strength of character. From the challenges of his childhood to the hardships of his youth, Hagrid's journey reminds us that kindness and loyalty can overcome even the darkest times. Rubeus Hagrid's connection to Hogwarts runs deep. As the keeper of keys and grounds, Hagrid plays a vital role in the everyday life of the school, ensuring that its grounds remain safe, its creatures cared for, and its traditions upheld. His warm and welcoming presence has made him a beloved figure among students and staff alike. Hagrid's duties are as varied as they are magical. He tends to the Forbidden Forest, a place filled with dangerous yet fascinating creatures, and ensures the castle grounds remain beautiful and secure. From maintaining the Black Lake to guiding first-year students across it in enchanted boats on their very first night, Hagrid is an integral part of the Hogwarts experience. Later in the series, Hagrid takes on the role of Care of Magical Creatures Professor, though his lessons can be unorthodox, introducing students to creatures like blast-ended scroots and hippogriffs. His passion for magical beings is infectious. Through Hagrid, students learn the importance of respecting and understanding even the most misunderstood creatures. Hagrid's relationship with the students sets him apart. He has a unique ability to connect with them, offering guidance and support without judgment. He often provides Harry, Ron, and Hermione with advice, comfort, and even a safe space to relax in his cozy hut on the edge of the Forbidden Forest. Hagrid's deep loyalty to Hogwarts and its values is unwavering. Whether standing guard at the castle gates or fighting alongside its defenders during the Battle of Hogwarts, Hagrid is always ready to protect the place he loves most. Through his role at Hogwarts, Hagrid embodies the school's spirit of inclusivity, compassion, and courage. He reminds us that greatness isn't about status or power, it's about the impact you have on the people and the world around you. Hagrid's love for magical creatures is one of his most endearing traits. His fascination with even the most misunderstood or dangerous beings reflects his compassionate nature and his belief that every creature deserves kindness and respect. From the very beginning, Hagrid's affinity for magical creatures is apparent. In the Philosopher's Stone, he introduces Harry to Norbert, a Norwegian ridgeback dragon he wins in a card game. While raising a dragon might seem reckless to others, it shows Hagrid's unwavering care for creatures of all kinds, even those deemed impossible to handle. Buckbeak, the proud and majestic hippogriff introduced in The Prisoner of Azkaban, is another example of Hagrid's bond with magical creatures. Despite the incident with Draco Malfoy, Hagrid defends Buckbeak fiercely, proving his loyalty to the creatures under his care. The connection between Hagrid and Buckbeak is a testament to the trust and respect he shares with the animals he loves. Hagrid's lessons as the Care of Magical Creatures Professor further showcase his dedication, though his approach is sometimes chaotic, like introducing blast-ended scroots or flobberworms to his students. Hagrid's enthusiasm for magical creatures is infectious. He teaches students not just about the creatures themselves, but about the value of patience and understanding. Aragog, the giant acromantula, is perhaps one of Hagrid's most surprising companions. While others see Aragog as a terrifying monster, Hagrid sees a misunderstood creature deserving of care. His ability to see beyond appearances reflects his deep empathy for all beings. Even in the face of danger, Hagrid's love for magical creatures never wavers. Whether he's tending to a herd of thestrals or helping care for the dragons in the Triwizard Tournament, Hagrid's bond with the magical world around him is unshakable. Hagrid's relationship with magical creatures reminds us that compassion can bridge the gap between worlds. Through his eyes, we learn that even the fiercest or most peculiar beings can be understood and loved. Hagrid's bond with Harry, Ron, and Hermione is one of the most heartfelt relationships in the Harry Potter series. From the moment he bursts through the door of the Dursleys' hut to deliver Harry's Hogwarts letter, Hagrid becomes a steadfast friend, protector, and mentor to the trio. Hagrid's friendship with Harry is especially meaningful. He is the first person to truly welcome Harry into the wizarding world, taking him to Diagon Alley, buying him his first birthday cake, and showing him the wonder of magic. Hagrid's kindness and enthusiasm help Harry begin to see a life beyond the Dursleys and the cupboard under the stairs. As the series progresses, Hagrid becomes a trusted confidant for the trio. His hut, warm and inviting, despite the occasional rock cake or overexcited Fang, serves as a refuge where Harry, Ron, and Hermione can escape the pressures of Hogwarts life. Whether they're seeking advice, cheering Hagrid up after a rough day, or learning about magical creatures, their visits to Hagrid's hut are filled with moments of connection and care. Hagrid's loyalty to the trio shines through in countless ways. He stands by Harry during his darkest moments, from the Triwizard Tournament to the Battle of Hogwarts. His unwavering belief in Harry, even when the wizarding world doubts him, is a testament to Hagrid's deep loyalty and trust. Hagrid's bond with Ron and Hermione is just as special. He admires Ron's bravery and shares Hermione's passion for learning, even if their approaches to magic differ. Hermione's efforts to support Hagrid during Buckbeak's trial and Ron's willingness to join dangerous missions with Hagrid underscore the mutual respect and affection they share. Through his friendship with Harry, Ron, and Hermione, Hagrid embodies the values of loyalty, kindness, and unconditional support. He reminds them, and us, that true friendship isn't about grand gestures, but about being there for each other, no matter what. Hagrid's connection to the trio is a cornerstone of the series, and it's a relationship that remains as magical as Hogwarts itself. Hagrid's unwavering loyalty to Albus Dumbledore is one of his defining characteristics. From the moment Dumbledore gave him a second chance after his expulsion from Hogwarts, Hagrid devoted his life to supporting and protecting the headmaster's vision for the wizarding world. Dumbledore's faith in Hagrid shaped the giant's journey. After being expelled from Hogwarts, Hagrid could have faced a bleak future, but Dumbledore intervened, allowing him to stay on as keeper of keys and grounds. This act of kindness not only gave Hagrid a purpose, but also solidified his bond with Dumbledore. Hagrid's trust in Dumbledore is absolute. Whether tasked with transporting Harry safely to the Dursleys as a baby, or retrieving him from Privet Drive years later, Hagrid carries out Dumbledore's orders with complete dedication. His role in delivering Harry's Hogwarts letter marked the beginning of Harry's magical journey, and Hagrid took great pride in introducing Harry to the wizarding world. During Voldemort's return, Hagrid stood firmly by Dumbledore's side, even as the Ministry of Magic questioned and undermined the headmaster. Hagrid's mission to parley with the giants, though dangerous and uncertain, showed his willingness to go to great lengths to support Dumbledore's fight against Voldemort. Hagrid also played a key role in the Order of the Phoenix, working behind the scenes to protect Hogwarts and its students. His loyalty was evident during the Battle of Hogwarts, where he fought valiantly to defend the castle and those within it. Even when faced with heartbreaking moments, such as carrying Harry's seemingly lifeless body back to the castle, Hagrid's devotion to Dumbledore's cause never faltered. Dumbledore's trust in Hagrid was reciprocated with fierce loyalty and respect. Their relationship was one of mutual admiration, with Dumbledore valuing Hagrid's kindness and strength, and Hagrid seeing Dumbledore as a beacon of wisdom and guidance. Hagrid's loyalty to Dumbledore reminds us of the power of second chances and the bonds that can form through kindness and trust. It's a testament to Hagrid's character that he stood by Dumbledore through every challenge, proving that loyalty is one of the greatest forms of magic. Hagrid's hut is more than just a place where he lives. It's a symbol of his warmth, kindness, and unique role within the Hogwarts community. Perched on the edge of the Forbidden Forest, the cozy cabin serves as a welcoming refuge for students, creatures, and friends alike. Inside, the hut reflects Hagrid's personality perfectly: humble, inviting, and a little rough around the edges. With its roaring fireplace, cluttered shelves, and mismatched furniture, it's a space where anyone can feel at home. The smell of tea brewing and the occasional rock cake add to the charm, making it a haven for Harry, Ron, and Hermione during their visits. Hagrid's hut also serves as a bridge between the magical and natural worlds. Located near the Forbidden Forest, it's the starting point for countless adventures involving magical creatures and mysterious happenings. From meeting Buckbeak the Hippogriff to following the spiders into the forest, the hut is a gateway to the wonders and dangers of Hogwarts grounds. For Harry, Ron, and Hermione, the hut is a place of comfort and guidance. When the pressures of school or the weight of their challenges become too much, they know they can count on Hagrid's open door and listening ear. Whether they're discussing Buckbeak's trial, seeking advice, or simply enjoying a break from their worries, the hut is a safe space filled with Hagrid's unshakable loyalty and care. Even Fang, Hagrid's oversized but lovable boarhound, adds to the hut's welcoming atmosphere. Despite his size, Fang is a gentle giant, much like Hagrid himself, and his wagging tail and slobbery affection are constant reminders of the hut's warmth. Hagrid's hut is more than a dwelling. It's a symbol of the bonds he creates and the sanctuary he provides. It represents his role as a protector, a caretaker, and a friend to all who need one. In its simplicity and charm, the hut reminds us that home is not about grandeur or size, but about the love and warmth within. Hagrid's bravery and loyalty made him a key figure in the fight against Voldemort. Though he wasn't a duelist or a strategist, Hagrid's strength, courage, and steadfast commitment to what's right played an essential role in the resistance against the Dark Lord. From the very beginning, Hagrid was a protector. He carried baby Harry to safety after Voldemort's first defeat, shielding him during one of the darkest moments in the wizarding world. This act symbolised Hagrid's lifelong dedication to Harry and the fight against Voldemort's return. During the Second Wizarding War, Hagrid remained a vital part of the Order of the Phoenix. One of his most dangerous missions was to act as Harry's protector during the chaotic Battle of the Seven Potters. Flying with Harry on Sirius's motorbike, Hagrid risked everything to ensure Harry's safety, showcasing his unflinching loyalty. Hogwarts itself became a focal point in the battle against Voldemort, and Hagrid was always at the heart of its defence. As the castle's groundskeeper, he knew every inch of its landscape and used that knowledge to help protect the school and its students. Even when Hogwarts fell under the control of Voldemort's regime, Hagrid stayed to resist, offering support to those who defied the new order. The Battle of Hogwarts was Hagrid's most pivotal moment. Despite the chaos and danger, Hagrid fought alongside students, staff, and members of the Order to defend the school he loved. When Voldemort demanded that Harry be brought to him, it was Hagrid who carried Harry's seemingly lifeless body back to the castle, his grief and heartbreak evident. This moment highlighted not only Hagrid's courage, but also the depth of his love for Harry and the cause they were fighting for. Even after Voldemort's defeat, Hagrid's role in the war remained a testament to his strength and dedication. He reminded everyone that courage isn't just about wielding a wand in battle, it's about standing by those you care for, no matter the cost. Hagrid's role in the fight against Voldemort reflects the importance of loyalty, compassion, and quiet strength. He was a protector and a friend, proving that even in the darkest times, kindness and courage can shine through. Hagrid is one of the most beloved characters in the Harry Potter series, and there are plenty of fascinating and fun facts about him that add even more depth to his character. From behind-the-scenes trivia to lesser-known details, these tidbits showcase just how special Hagrid truly is. Did you know that Hagrid's pink umbrella contains the remains of his broken wand? After being expelled from Hogwarts, Hagrid was forbidden from practicing magic, but thanks to Dumbledore's kindness, he secretly kept his wand hidden in the umbrella. Though he couldn't cast spells like a fully trained wizard, Hagrid managed to use it for small bits of magic, like starting fires or giving Dudley a pig's tail. Hagrid's love for magical creatures is rooted in his own experiences as a half-giant. Being misunderstood and judged for his heritage likely fueled his empathy for creatures like Buckbeak and Aragog, who were often seen as dangerous or strange. This connection is one of the reasons Hagrid is so protective of magical beings, no matter their size or temperament. In the films, Hagrid's towering size was achieved using a combination of camera tricks, oversized sets, and a body double. Robbie Coltrane, who portrayed Hagrid, brought the character to life with warmth and humour, but it was Martin Bayfield, a former rugby player, who served as Hagrid's double for wide shots. Speaking of Robbie Coltrane, he was J.K. Rowling's first choice for the role of Hagrid. His performance captured Hagrid's essence so perfectly that he became one of the most iconic portrayals in the entire series. Coltrane even helped design aspects of the character, like Hagrid's wild hair and patchwork clothing, to reflect his rugged personality. Hagrid's name has symbolic origins too. Rubeus comes from the Latin word for red, symbolizing passion and warmth, while Hagrid is derived from an Old English term meaning having a bad night. Together, the name reflects Hagrid's big heart and the hardships he has endured. Even Hagrid's pets have fun backstories. Fang, his loyal boarhound, was played by multiple Neapolitan Mastiffs in the films. Norbert, his dragon, was inspired by Rowling's love of mythology and her idea of Hagrid raising a creature that would grow far too large for him to handle. These fun facts remind us that Hagrid is more than just a character. He's a symbol of kindness, resilience, and the magic of being yourself. Whether on the page or the screen, Hagrid's presence is a testament to the power of loyalty, friendship, and big-hearted love. Rubeus Hagrid is more than just a character in the Harry Potter series. He's a symbol of kindness, loyalty, and the beauty of embracing who you are. With his towering size and booming voice, Hagrid might seem intimidating at first, but beneath it all is a heart as big as the Forbidden Forest. Hagrid reminds us that strength isn't about power or perfection. It's about standing by your friends, showing compassion, and protecting what you love. Whether he's raising a dragon, guiding first years to Hogwarts, or fighting alongside his friends in the Battle of Hogwarts, Hagrid embodies courage and devotion in everything he does. For Harry, Ron, and Hermione, Hagrid was more than a friend. He was family, from introducing Harry to the wizarding world to comforting them in their darkest moments. Hagrid's unwavering support showed that true friendship knows no bounds. As you close your eyes tonight, picture Hagrid's warm hut, the crackling of a fire, and the soft rumble of his laughter. Imagine the sound of Fang's paws padding across the floor and the aroma of tea brewing in a mismatched kettle. Let the memory of Hagrid's kindness and courage guide you into peaceful dreams. Dumbledore was a mentor to many, a brilliant strategist, and a guardian of the light in the fight against Voldemort. But Dumbledore was more than the kind, twinkly-eyed wizard we saw on the surface. His life was shaped by triumphs and tragedies, secrets and sacrifices, and choices that revealed the true weight of leadership. He was a man of great wisdom, yet he was not without flaws, making him one of the most fascinating and layered characters in the wizarding world. As you listen tonight, let the story of Dumbledore's life unfold, from his early days in Godric's Hollow to the halls of Hogwarts, and the mysteries that defined his journey. Imagine the flicker of candlelight in his office, the rustle of his robes, and the quiet hum of his magic as we explore the life of one of the greatest wizards of all time. Let's begin. Albus Dumbledore's story begins in Godric's Hollow, a small magical village with a rich history. Born in 1881 to Percival and Kendra Dumbledore, Albus was the eldest of 3 siblings, alongside his brother Aberforth and his sister Ariana. While his early life seemed peaceful, tragedy struck the family and set the stage for much of the complexity that would define Dumbledore's character. Ariana, as a young girl, was attacked by Muggle boys after they saw her performing accidental magic. The trauma of the attack left her unable to control her powers, causing magical outbursts that were both dangerous and unpredictable. In retaliation for the attack on Ariana, Percival Dumbledore assaulted the boys responsible, an act that landed him in Azkaban, where he later died. To protect Ariana, the family moved to a secluded home in Godric's Hollow, with Kendra taking on the responsibility of caring for her daughter. Tragedy struck again, when an accidental magical outburst from Ariana caused Kendra's death, leaving the teenage Albus to care for his younger siblings. Though Albus was a brilliant and ambitious young wizard, the burden of caring for his family weighed heavily on him. His brother Aberforth resented him for his impatience and longing to escape their circumstances, and the tension between the siblings created a rift that would take years to heal. These early experiences, loss, family responsibilities, and the struggles of protecting a loved one shaped Dumbledore's understanding of sacrifice and the complexities of human relationships. They also planted the seeds of his deep sense of guilt, something that would haunt him throughout his life. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the quiet village of Godric's Hollow, the soft glow of lights in the windows of the Dumbledore home, and the sound of young Albus scribbling furiously on parchment as he dreamed of a future beyond his family's struggles. His journey was only beginning, but the lessons of these early years would echo throughout his life. In his late teens, Albus Dumbledore's life took a dramatic turn when he crossed paths with Gellert Grindelwald, a brilliant and ambitious young wizard who had come to live in Godric's Hollow. Grindelwald had been expelled from Durmstrang Institute for dangerous magical experiments, but his intellect and charisma quickly drew Dumbledore into a deep friendship and something more. Both Albus and Gellert shared a fascination with magical theory and a belief in the potential for wizards to reshape the world. They envisioned a new order where wizards would guide and govern the magical and non-magical worlds alike, a vision they called the greater good. For Dumbledore, who had spent years caring for his family, this dream offered an escape from his burdens and a chance to pursue greatness. But their partnership wasn't built solely on shared ideals. There was an undeniable emotional bond between them, one that added complexity to their relationship. Dumbledore later admitted that his feelings for Grindelwald blinded him to the darker implications of their plans. Grindelwald's thirst for power and willingness to use force clashed with the ideals of love and justice that would later define Dumbledore. The turning point came when Aberforth confronted them, accusing Albus of neglecting his family in favor of pursuing his ambitions with Grindelwald. This argument escalated into a duel between the three young wizards, during which Ariana tragically lost her life in a magical outburst. The guilt of her death devastated Dumbledore, and his relationship with Grindelwald was shattered. Grindelwald left Godric's Hollow and began his rise to power, while Albus remained behind, consumed by regret. Ariana's death and his brief alignment with Grindelwald's ideals left lasting scars on Dumbledore, shaping his humility and his determination to use his power responsibly. He vowed never to seek the kind of domination they had once dreamed of. After the tragedies of his youth, Albus Dumbledore redirected his life towards scholarship and teaching, rising to prominence as one of the most brilliant wizards of his time. His unparalleled intellect and mastery of magic earned him a reputation not only as a formidable wizard, but also as a man deeply respected in the wizarding world. Dumbledore's rise began with his contributions to magical theory, including his work on alchemy with Nicholas Flamel, the creator of the Philosopher's Stone. His innovative research and writings set him apart as a thinker far ahead of his time. He also made significant contributions to the study of spells, charms, and magical creatures, further solidifying his reputation. In 1938, Dumbledore joined the staff at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, initially as the Transfiguration Professor. His teaching style was both challenging and inspiring, as he sought to nurture his students' potential while encouraging them to think critically about magic and morality. He quickly became a beloved figure at the school, known for his humor, wisdom, and unwavering sense of justice. Dumbledore's role at Hogwarts extended beyond teaching. He became a mentor to countless students, offering guidance and support during their most formative years. Among his students were figures who would go on to play pivotal roles in the wizarding world, including Minerva McGonagall, who later became a trusted colleague. Despite his many accolades, Dumbledore remained humble, often deflecting attention from his achievements. His focus was on using his talents to better the wizarding world, rather than seeking personal glory. This humility set him apart from other powerful wizards of his time, making him not only respected, but deeply admired. As his reputation grew, Dumbledore was offered numerous prestigious positions, including Minister for Magic, but he turned them all down. He believed his true calling lay at Hogwarts, where he could shape the next generation and protect the school as a sanctuary for those in need. As headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Albus Dumbledore became not only a leader, but also a mentor and protector to countless students. His tenure as headmaster solidified his role as the guiding light of Hogwarts, and his influence extended far beyond the school's walls. Dumbledore's approach to leadership was unique. He believed in fostering independence and critical thinking among his students, often trusting them to make their own choices, even in difficult situations. His wisdom was rooted in his understanding of human nature. He saw potential in everyone, from the brightest students to those who struggled to find their path. One of Dumbledore's greatest strengths as a leader was his ability to inspire loyalty and trust. This was evident in his relationship with Harry Potter, whom he guided from the moment Harry arrived at Hogwarts. Dumbledore played a pivotal role in preparing Harry for his eventual confrontation with Voldemort, teaching him not only about magic, but also about courage, love, and the power of choice. Dumbledore also maintained an open and inclusive philosophy at Hogwarts. He welcomed students from all backgrounds, providing a safe haven for those who felt out of place or marginalized. His belief in the power of love and friendship was reflected in his efforts to create an environment where all could thrive. Despite his kind demeanor, Dumbledore was not afraid to make difficult decisions. He bore the weight of responsibility with quiet resolve, often keeping secrets to protect those around him. While this approach sometimes strained his relationships, particularly with Harry, it underscored his willingness to shoulder burdens others could not. His presence at Hogwarts was not just as a headmaster, but as a symbol of hope. Even during the darkest times, Dumbledore's unwavering belief in the power of good inspired those around him to stand strong against evil. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the warm glow of the Great Hall, the quiet wisdom in Dumbledore's eyes, and the comfort of knowing that within the walls of Hogwarts, you are safe. Dumbledore's guidance reminds us that true leadership comes not from power, but from love, compassion, and the courage to do what is right. Albus Dumbledore's life was marked by secrets, sacrifices, and an unwavering commitment to the greater good. Beneath his kind demeanor and twinkling eyes lay a man who bore heavy burdens, many of which he kept hidden to protect those around him. These secrets shaped his actions and defined his legacy. One of the most significant secrets Dumbledore kept was his connection to the Elder Wand, one of the 3 Deathly Hallows. As a young man, Dumbledore had sought to unite the Hallows alongside Gellert Grindelwald, believing they could create a better world. After their falling out and the tragic duel that resulted in Ariana's death, Dumbledore defeated Grindelwald and claimed the Elder Wand, becoming its master. Though he wielded the wand with unmatched skill, he kept its true history hidden, knowing its power could corrupt those who sought it. Dumbledore's greatest sacrifice, however, was revealed in his plan to defeat Voldemort. He discovered that Voldemort had split his soul into Horcruxes, anchoring his immortality to these cursed objects. Knowing that the destruction of the Horcruxes was key to Voldemort's defeat, Dumbledore embarked on a dangerous mission to locate and destroy them, even at great personal cost. The cursed ring that once belonged to Voldemort's family was one such Horcrux. Dumbledore destroyed it, but not before its curse spread through his body, leaving him fatally wounded. Despite this, he continued his work, devising a plan that would ensure Voldemort's downfall even after his own death. Perhaps the most controversial of Dumbledore's secrets was the role he assigned to Severus Snape. Trusting Snape's loyalty, Dumbledore asked him to kill him when the time came, ensuring that Voldemort would believe Snape's allegiance was genuine. This plan not only protected Snape's cover, but also allowed Dumbledore to die on his own terms, sparing Draco Malfoy from the burden of murder. Dumbledore's willingness to make difficult choices, even at the expense of his own life, reflected his belief in the power of sacrifice. Yet, his secrecy also strained his relationships, particularly with Harry, who often felt left in the dark. Dumbledore understood the weight of these decisions but accepted them as necessary for the greater good. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the quiet solitude of Dumbledore's office, the flicker of the pensieve, and the weight of unspoken truths lingering in the air. His story is one of wisdom, sacrifice, and the enduring strength it takes to carry burdens for the sake of others. Albus Dumbledore's connection to the Deathly Hallows, the Elder Wand, the Resurrection Stone, and the Cloak of Invisibility reveals a profound aspect of his life and legacy. These legendary magical artifacts, said to have been created by death itself, played a pivotal role in shaping Dumbledore's journey and his understanding of power, loss, and mortality. As a young man, Dumbledore was drawn to the Hallows, particularly the idea of uniting them. Alongside Gellert Grindelwald, he envisioned a world where the Hallows could bring control and peace to the wizarding and muggle worlds. However, this pursuit was rooted in ambition and personal desire, which Dumbledore later came to regret. The Elder Wand, the most powerful wand in existence, became Dumbledore's after his legendary duel with Grindelwald. He wielded it with unparalleled skill, yet he understood the danger of its allure. Unlike others who sought the wand for domination, Dumbledore used it responsibly, never flaunting its power. His mastery of the wand symbolized his rejection of the temptations that had once consumed him. The Resurrection Stone, another of the Hallows, brought Dumbledore closer to tragedy. It was embedded in the cursed ring that served as one of Voldemort's Horcruxes. When Dumbledore discovered it, he momentarily gave in to the temptation to use it, hoping to see his lost loved ones, especially his sister, Ariana. This act unleashed the curse that ultimately led to his death, a reminder of the perils of clinging to the past. The Cloak of Invisibility, the third Hallow, passed down through the Peverell family, came into Dumbledore's possession indirectly. He ensured that it found its way to Harry Potter, who embodied the true spirit of the Hallows, not seeking power or defying death, but accepting mortality with courage and humility. Dumbledore's relationship with the Deathly Hallows was a journey of growth and understanding. Initially driven by ambition, he came to see the Hallows not as tools for dominance, but as symbols of wisdom, sacrifice, and the balance between life and death. Albus Dumbledore is known for his wisdom, and his words often carry profound lessons that resonate far beyond the walls of Hogwarts. Throughout the Harry Potter series, Dumbledore's quotes are not just memorable, they offer insight into love, bravery, and the human experience. These words continue to inspire fans around the world. One of Dumbledore's most iconic quotes is from the Philosopher's Stone: "It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live." This reminder to embrace the present, rather than get lost in what might have been, is a powerful reflection on the importance of moving forward, even in the face of challenges. In The Prisoner of Azkaban, he offers another timeless piece of advice. Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, if one only remembers to turn on the light. These words capture the essence of hope and resilience, encouraging us to find light even in the most difficult moments. Dumbledore's belief in the power of choice is also central to his teachings. In the Chamber of Secrets, he tells Harry, "It is our choices, Harry, that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities." This insight reminds us that who we are is defined not by talent or circumstance, but by the decisions we make. In The Goblet of Fire, Dumbledore addresses the value of standing for what is right, even when it is difficult. We are only as strong as we are united, as weak as we are divided. These words highlight the importance of unity and collective strength, especially in the face of adversity. Another of Dumbledore's great teachings comes from The Half-Blood Prince, where he reassures Harry, "Do not pity the dead, Harry. Pity the living, and above all, those who live without love." This reflection on the significance of love as the ultimate force for good is at the heart of Dumbledore's philosophy. Dumbledore's wisdom often came wrapped in kindness and humour, making even the heaviest truths easier to carry. His words were a guiding light for Harry and his friends, and they remain a source of comfort and inspiration for readers and viewers. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the warm, calm presence of Dumbledore in his office, the faint rustle of Fawkes the Phoenix nearby, and the quiet weight of his wisdom filling the air. His words remind us that even in the most complex moments of life, there is always a path forward, guided by love, courage, and hope. Albus Dumbledore is celebrated as a wise and powerful leader, but what makes him truly compelling is his flaws and complexity. Beneath the calm and collected exterior lies a man who struggled with his past, his choices, and his own humanity. These imperfections make Dumbledore not just a great wizard, but a deeply relatable character. One of Dumbledore's greatest flaws was his tendency to keep secrets. While he often acted with the best intentions, His reluctance to share information strained his relationships, particularly with Harry. Dumbledore believed that shielding others from difficult truths would protect them, but this approach sometimes left those around him feeling isolated and betrayed. His manipulative tendencies also revealed a darker side to his leadership. Dumbledore was willing to make difficult, even morally questionable decisions to achieve the greater good. For instance, his deliberate withholding of the full truth about Harry's connection to Voldemort was a calculated risk, one that placed a tremendous burden on Harry without his full knowledge. Dumbledore's past, especially his friendship with Gellert Grindelwald, was another source of internal conflict. His youthful ambitions and the tragedy surrounding his sister Ariana left him deeply scarred. This guilt drove Dumbledore's later humility and his determination to use his power responsibly, but it also haunted him throughout his life. Despite his flaws, Dumbledore's complexity is what makes him a compelling figure. He was a man who acknowledged his mistakes and sought to grow from them. His ability to embrace his imperfections and continue striving for what was right is a testament to his strength of character. Dumbledore's flaws remind us that even the wisest and most capable among us are not perfect. He was a man burdened by his own choices and past, yet he carried those burdens with grace, channeling his experiences into protecting others and standing against evil. As you close your eyes tonight, picture Dumbledore in his quiet moments, reflecting by the fire in his office or gazing out over the grounds of Hogwarts. His story is a reminder that greatness is not about being flawless, but about learning, growing, and choosing to do good, even when the path is uncertain. Albus Dumbledore's story is one of wisdom, sacrifice, and humanity, a legacy that continues to inspire. His life was a tapestry woven with brilliance, compassion, and the weight of difficult choices. From his triumphs as a mentor and leader, to his struggles with guilt and secrets, Dumbledore's journey reminds us that even the greatest heroes are deeply human. Dumbledore's belief in the power of love and choice was at the heart of everything he did. He understood that magic alone could not defeat darkness, that courage, kindness, and unity were the true forces that shaped the world. Through his guidance, Harry and others found the strength to stand against Voldemort, proving that even in the darkest times, light can prevail. Yet Dumbledore's legacy is not one of perfection. He was a man who carried the scars of his past, grappling with his mistakes and the impact of his actions. His willingness to face his flaws, acknowledge them, and continue striving for what was right is what makes his story so powerful. He showed us that greatness isn't about being without fault. It's about learning, growing, and never losing sight of what truly matters. His influence extended beyond the walls of Hogwarts. Through his teachings and actions, he left a lasting mark on the wizarding world. Snape's journey is one of love, loss, sacrifice, and redemption. A story filled with grey areas that challenge our perception of heroism and villainy. Throughout the series, Snape was many things. A cunning Slytherin, a feared potions master, a loyal ally, and a misunderstood man haunted by his past. His role in the wizarding world was pivotal, weaving together the lives of Harry Potter, Lord Voldemort, and Dumbledore in ways that no one could have foreseen. But beneath his cold, calculating demeanor was a deeply emotional story that would change how we see him forever. As we dive into Snape's life tonight, imagine the halls of Hogwarts, the flickering light of cauldrons in the dungeon, and the soft rustle of his billowing robes. Let's uncover the layers of this enigmatic character, from his early days in Spinner's End to his ultimate sacrifice for a cause greater than himself. It's a tale of love, loyalty, and the complexities of human nature. Let's begin. Severus Snape's story begins in the unremarkable and dreary neighborhood of Spinner's End, a grey industrial area that reflected the hardships of his early life. Born to a wizard mother, Eileen Prince, and a muggle father, Tobias Snape, his childhood was far from happy. Tobias was cruel and abusive, creating a tense and unhappy home that left a lasting mark on Snape's personality. Amid this bleak upbringing, Snape found a glimmer of light in his friendship with Lily Evans, a Muggle-born witch who lived nearby. From the moment they met, their bond was undeniable. Snape introduced Lily to the wizarding world, showing her its magic and wonder, while Lily offered him kindness and companionship that he desperately needed. Their connection became the most important relationship of Snape's life, shaping many of his choices and defining his motivations. Despite their closeness, the differences in their backgrounds became increasingly apparent as they grew older. Snape, influenced by his fascination with dark magic and his association with future Death Eaters, began to walk a path that clashed with Lily's values. Their friendship ultimately unraveled, leaving Snape filled with regret and longing for the person who had once been his greatest source of joy. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the quiet streets of Spinner's End, the flicker of a young Severus practicing magic, and the warmth of Lily's laughter echoing through the memories of his childhood. Snape's early life was a mixture of hardship and fleeting hope, a reminder of how the choices we make and the people we meet shape the paths we take. Severus Snape's time at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry was both formative and complicated, filled with moments that would shape his future for better and worse. Sorted into Slytherin House, Snape immediately found himself surrounded by ambitious and cunning peers, many of whom would later align themselves with Lord Voldemort. As a student, Snape excelled in potions, defense against the dark arts, and spell invention, showcasing his brilliance and creativity. He even earned the nickname the Half-Blood Prince, blending his wizard mother's surname, Prince, with his Muggle father's heritage. His talent in crafting new spells was unmatched, many of which, like Sectum Sempra, would later take on a life of their own, revealing both his genius and his darker tendencies. But Hogwarts was not a place of pure academic achievement for Snape. His years at school were marked by a bitter and escalating rivalry with James Potter, Harry's father, and the other Marauders, Sirius Black, Remus Lupin, and Peter Pettigrew. James and Sirius frequently bullied Snape, targeting him in humiliating ways, such as the infamous incident by the Black Lake, where James publicly humiliated him. This torment fueled Snape's hatred for James and left deep scars that would shape his interactions with Harry years later. However, Snape's time at Hogwarts wasn't solely defined by bitterness. His friendship with Lily Evans, a Gryffindor, continued to be a source of light, though their bond began to strain as Snape delved deeper into the dark arts and associated with future Death Eaters. This shift drove an irreparable wedge between them, ultimately severing their friendship when Snape, in a moment of anger and humiliation, called Lily a mudblood. Though he begged for her forgiveness, the damage was done, and Lily's rejection haunted him for the rest of his life. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the long, candlelit corridors of Hogwarts, the murmur of students practicing spells, and a young Severus retreating to the shadows, caught between his ambitions and his heartache. Snape's time at Hogwarts set the stage for his complex journey, a story of brilliance, conflict, and choices that would define the wizarding world. Severus Snape's identity as the Half-Blood Prince is one of the most fascinating aspects of his character, revealing his brilliance, creativity, and the darker side of his talents. The nickname was a reflection of his heritage. His mother, Eileen Prince, was a witch, while his father, Tobias Snape, was a Muggle. By calling himself the Half-Blood Prince, Snape rejected his father's legacy and embraced his magical roots, creating an identity that was uniquely his own. During his years at Hogwarts, Snape poured much of his energy into excelling in his studies, particularly in potions. His skills went far beyond the curriculum, as he experimented, refined recipes, and even improved existing potion-making techniques. His old potions textbook, filled with handwritten notes and modifications, became a testament to his genius. Spells, shortcuts, and techniques scrawled in the margins proved his mastery, showcasing both his innovation and his meticulous nature. Among the many spells he created, one of the most infamous was Sectum Sempra, a dark and devastating spell intended to harm enemies. This spell, along with others, reflected Snape's darker inclinations during his youth and the anger he carried with him. The duality of Snape's brilliance, both creative and destructive, was a defining characteristic that followed him throughout his life. Years later, this very potions textbook would find its way into Harry Potter's hands during his 6th year at Hogwarts. Under the mysterious pseudonym of the Half-Blood Prince, Snape became an unlikely mentor to Harry, guiding him to excel in potions without either of them realizing the connection at first. However, as the secrets of the book unraveled, so too did the complex and often painful layers of Snape's identity. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine Snape sitting alone in the quiet of the Hogwarts library or potions classroom, his quills scratching against parchment as he invents spells and refines techniques. The story of the Half-Blood Prince is a reminder of how brilliance and darkness can intertwine, shaping a legacy both remarkable and tragic. Severus Snape's involvement with Lord Voldemort marked a turning point in his life, setting him on a path of darkness that would later become one of redemption. As a young man, drawn by promises of power and belonging, Snape joined the ranks of the Death Eaters, becoming a devoted follower of the Dark Lord. His fascination with the dark arts and his association with influential figures in Slytherin made this decision seem inevitable, but it also came with dire consequences. Snape's knowledge of potions, spells, and his natural cunning made him a valuable asset to Voldemort. However, it was a prophecy overheard at the Hog's Head Inn that would ultimately change everything. The prophecy, made by Sybil Trelawney, foretold the birth of a child with the power to defeat the Dark Lord. Eager to prove his loyalty, Snape relayed this information to Voldemort, not realizing that it would seal the fate of someone he deeply loved, Lily Evans, now Lily Potter. When Snape learned that Voldemort intended to target Lily and her family, he was overcome with regret and horror. Desperate to save her, he turned to Albus Dumbledore, pleading for his help. In that moment, Snape's allegiance began to shift. He agreed to work as a double agent, feeding information to Dumbledore while maintaining his position within Voldemort's inner circle. Despite his efforts, Snape was unable to prevent Lily's death, a loss that would haunt him for the rest of his life. His love for Lily became the driving force behind his actions, motivating him to protect her son, Harry Potter. Even though Harry's resemblance to his father James was a constant reminder of Snape's pain and jealousy. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the torment of a man torn between the darkness he chose and the love he could never let go of. Snape's decision to betray Voldemort was born of regret, love, and a desire to make amends, marking the beginning of his complex and dangerous role as a double agent. His story reminds us that even in the face of our worst mistakes, there is always a chance to seek redemption. Severus Snape's role as a double agent for Albus Dumbledore was one of the most dangerous and pivotal positions in the fight against Voldemort. After the devastating loss of Lily Potter, Snape committed himself to Dumbledore's cause, vowing to protect Lily's son Harry and do whatever it took to help bring about Voldemort's downfall. This decision placed Snape in a precarious position, walking the thin line between loyalty to Dumbledore and feigned allegiance to the Dark Lord. Dumbledore recognized Snape's unique value as a spy and used his position within the Death Eaters to gather critical information about Voldemort's plans. Despite the danger, Snape proved to be a master of deception, gaining Voldemort's trust while secretly working against him. His skill in occlumency, the magical ability to shield one's mind from intrusion, allowed him to keep his true intentions hidden even from Voldemort, who was a master legerdemain. Snape's relationship with Dumbledore was built on an uneasy mixture of trust and mutual necessity. Dumbledore relied on Snape to provide key intelligence, while Snape depended on Dumbledore to help him fulfill his vow to protect Harry. However, their relationship was far from simple. Dumbledore's manipulation of Snape, particularly in asking him to carry out the ultimate act of loyalty, killing Dumbledore himself, revealed the moral complexities of their alliance. When Dumbledore was fatally cursed by the ring Horcrux, he and Snape devised a plan. Snape would end Dumbledore's life when the time came, sparing Draco Malfoy from having to commit murder and solidifying Voldemort's trust in Snape. This act, carried out in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, appeared to confirm Snape's loyalty to Voldemort, but was, in truth, the ultimate sacrifice for the greater good. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine Snape, standing in the shadows, burdened by the weight of his secrets and the dangerous path he chose. His work as a double agent is a testament to his bravery, intelligence, and the lengths he would go to honor his love for Lily. Snape's story reminds us that true courage often comes from facing impossible choices and staying the course, even when no one else understands. Severus Snape's role as a teacher at Hogwarts showcased yet another layer of his complex character. As the potions master, and later the defense against the dark arts professor, Snape was strict, intimidating, and often unfair. But his teaching methods and behavior revealed as much about his inner struggles as they did about his personality. From the moment Harry Potter stepped into his classroom, Snape's disdain for him was evident. Snape's bitterness toward Harry stemmed from his resemblance to his father, James Potter, who had bullied Snape during their time at Hogwarts. Every time Snape looked at Harry, he saw the face of James, but with Lily's eyes, a constant reminder of the woman he loved and the life he could never have. While his favoritism towards Slytherin House and his harsh treatment of Gryffindors, particularly Harry, made him seem cruel, Snape's actions often carried hidden intentions. He was fiercely protective of his students in his own way, shielding them from harm even when it wasn't immediately apparent. For example, in Harry's first year, Snape secretly protected him from Professor Quirrell's attempts to harm him during a Quidditch match, an act that went unnoticed at the time. Snape's teaching style, though severe, reflected his high standards and his belief in discipline. He demanded perfection in potions, a subject where mistakes could be dangerous, and often used intimidation to ensure his students took it seriously. Despite his gruff exterior, his knowledge and skill were undeniable, and he passed on valuable lessons, even to students he appeared to despise. When Snape became the defense against the dark arts professor in the Half-Blood Prince, his true expertise shone. His deep understanding of spells and curses made him one of the most formidable practitioners of magic at Hogwarts, a fact that even his critics couldn't deny. However, his time as headmaster during Voldemort's takeover of Hogwarts revealed the extent of his sacrifices, as he secretly worked to protect the students while maintaining his cover as a loyal Death Eater. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine Snape pacing the dimly lit dungeon classroom, his voice cutting through the silence, as he lectures on the importance of precision in potion making. His role as a teacher, though harsh and often misunderstood, was another piece of the puzzle that made Snape such a compelling and unforgettable character. It reminds us that even the sternest figures can have hidden depths and unseen intentions. One of the most defining moments of Severus Snape's story is the revelation of his true allegiance, a truth that unraveled the complex layers of his character and redefined him in the eyes of Harry and the audience. At the center of it all was Snape's undying love for Lily Evans, the woman whose memory drove his actions and shaped his legacy. Throughout the series, Snape was portrayed as a cruel and antagonistic figure, particularly toward Harry. But in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, through the pensieve, Harry witnessed Snape's most guarded memories, uncovering the truth about his motivations. Snape's love for Lily was the cornerstone of his actions, the reason he betrayed Voldemort and worked tirelessly to protect Harry, even if it meant enduring a life filled with danger, loneliness, and pain. The moment Snape showed Dumbledore his Patronus, a silver doe, the same as Lily's, Dumbledore's simple question, after all this time, was met with Snape's now iconic response, always. This single word encapsulated the depth of Snape's love and loyalty. It revealed that every sacrifice he made, every dangerous step he took as a double agent, was for the memory of Lily and the promise he made to protect her son. Despite his love for Lily, Snape was far from perfect. He was a deeply flawed individual, driven by bitterness, jealousy, and regret. His treatment of Harry, rooted in his lingering resentment toward James Potter, often clouded his better judgment. Yet, beneath his harsh exterior was a man consumed by guilt and a desire to atone for the role he played in Lily's death. The always moment reframed Snape's character, revealing him as a tragic hero who fought in the shadows, driven by love and a longing for redemption. His actions weren't about seeking recognition or glory. They were about keeping his promise to the one person who ever truly mattered to him. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the silver glow of Snape's Patronus lighting the darkened halls of Hogwarts, a symbol of his enduring love and the choices he made to honor it. Snape's story is a poignant reminder that even in the darkest moments, love and loyalty can guide us toward redemption, no matter how flawed we may be. Severus Snape's ultimate redemption and legacy cemented his place as one of the most complex and memorable characters in the Harry Potter series. Though his life was filled with pain, mistakes, and moral ambiguity, his final acts of bravery and sacrifice revealed the true depths of his character, leaving an indelible mark on the wizarding world. Snape's role in Voldemort's downfall was one of secrecy and sacrifice. As a double agent, he risked everything to protect Harry and work against the Dark Lord, all while maintaining the guise of a loyal Death Eater. His final moments were a testament to his courage when Voldemort, believing he needed to kill Snape to gain mastery of the Elder Wand, turned on him. Snape met his fate with dignity. Even in his last moments, he thought only of Lily and Harry, giving Harry his memories to ensure Voldemort's defeat. Through the pensive, Harry discovered the truth about Snape's life, motivations, and sacrifices. He saw the heartbreak of Snape's love for Lily, the regret over her death, and the incredible lengths Snape went to in order to protect him. These revelations transformed Snape from a perceived villain into a tragic hero, a man whose flaws and mistakes were outweighed by his ultimate loyalty and bravery. Snape's legacy lived on, even after his death. In the Deathly Hallows epilogue, Harry honored Snape's memory by naming his second son, Albus Severus Potter. Acknowledging Snape as one of the bravest men he ever knew, it was a moment of reconciliation, a recognition of Snape's sacrifices and his vital role in Harry's survival. Snape's redemption wasn't about erasing his flaws. It was about showing that even the most imperfect individuals have the capacity for love, courage, and selflessness. His story is a reminder that heroism isn't always about grand gestures or public recognition. It's about the quiet, unseen sacrifices made for the greater good. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine Snape's final words echoing in the stillness. "Look at me," a plea to see Lily's eyes one last time. Snape's redemption is a testament to the power of love and the idea that even in the darkest hearts, light can endure. It's a story that lingers long after the last page is turned, leaving us to reflect on the complexity of courage and the cost of redemption. Severus Snape's story is one of love, sacrifice, and the blurred lines between good and evil. As one of the most complicated characters in the Harry Potter series. From the moment he steps into Hogwarts, he's painted as the classic school bully, the privileged, arrogant rival to Harry Potter. But behind the sneers and the insults, there's something more, something deeper. Draco isn't just a spoiled child looking for attention. He's a boy raised in the shadow of expectation, shaped by a family legacy that values power, blood purity, and reputation above all else. He isn't free to choose his own path. His future has already been decided for him. From the moment he could walk, Draco was taught who to hate, who to admire, and what it meant to be a Malfoy. But what happens when a child raised in darkness starts to question the very world he was born into? What happens when fear replaces arrogance, when duty clashes with morality, and when the pressure of living up to his father's name becomes too much to bear? Draco Malfoy's story isn't one of a villain. It's one of a boy caught between two worlds, the one he was taught to believe in and the one he realizes might be right. Tonight, we'll explore the truth behind Draco Malfoy, his family's influence, his insecurities, his defining moments, and how he went from being Harry Potter's greatest rival to one of the most complicated characters in the entire series. So close your eyes, let yourself drift into the halls of Hogwarts, and step into the world of Draco Malfoy. Draco Malfoy wasn't just any student at Hogwarts. He was a Malfoy, a name that carried weight, power, and generations of influence. From the moment he was born, his future was already mapped out for him. He was expected to be wealthy, respected, and above all, loyal to the ideals of pure-blood supremacy. The Malfoys were one of the oldest and richest pure-blood families in the wizarding world, and they took immense pride in that. Their lineage traced back centuries, filled with high-ranking ministry officials, aristocrats, and powerful wizards. They lived in Malfoy Manor, a vast and intimidating estate, filled with the echoes of dark magic and generations of tradition. At the head of the family was Lucius Malfoy, Draco's father, a man who believed in control, influence, and the importance of keeping bloodlines pure. He was deeply involved with the Ministry of Magic, always ensuring the Malfoy name remained untarnished. But more than that, Lucius was a former Death Eater, someone who once served Lord Voldemort, and even after the Dark Lord's fall, he never truly abandoned those ideals. Then there was Narcissa Malfoy, Draco's mother. Unlike her husband, Narcissa wasn't as vocal about her beliefs, but she was fiercely protective of her son. She too came from a powerful bloodline, the Black family, which prided itself on pure blood heritage. But Narcissa's love for Draco ran deeper than any ideology, and in the end, her love for her son would prove stronger than her allegiance to Voldemort. Draco was raised in a world where blood status meant everything, where kindness was seen as weakness, and where ambition was encouraged, but only as long as it served the family. From an early age, he was taught to look down on Muggleborns, to see himself as superior, and to believe that power was something he was entitled to. But for all the arrogance and pride, Draco wasn't given much freedom. He was raised to be an extension of his family's name, a symbol of everything the Malfoys stood for. His father's approval was something he craved, and disappointing him was never an option. So when Draco arrived at Hogwarts, he wasn't just a boy making friends or enemies. He was a Malfoy, carrying generations of expectation on his shoulders. He was there to prove himself, to his father, his family, and the world around him. But what Draco didn't realize yet was that Hogwarts was the one place where things wouldn't be as simple as he had been taught. When Draco Malfoy arrived at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, he already knew exactly who he was supposed to be: confident, superior, and above all, a Malfoy. He was raised to believe that he was better than most of the students around him, that his name alone made him important, and for a while, he carried himself like it was true. From the very first moment he met Harry Potter, their paths were destined to collide. Draco extended a hand, offering Harry a place among the right kind of wizards, the wealthy, the pure-blooded, the powerful. But Harry refused. That moment wasn't just a rejection of friendship, it was a rejection of everything Draco had been taught to believe. In Harry's eyes, a name didn't make you special, blood status didn't make you superior, and kindness mattered more than power. From then on, Draco and Harry weren't just classmates, they were rivals. Throughout their years at Hogwarts, Draco made it his mission to challenge Harry at every turn. Whether it was mocking him in the corridors, sabotaging him in class, or trying to outshine him on the Quidditch pitch, Draco's jealousy ran deep. It wasn't just about personal hatred, it was about being overshadowed by someone who didn't even want the attention in the first place. Harry wasn't just another student, he was the boy who lived, famous before he even knew why. And that fame made Draco's own privileged upbringing feel small. For the first time, Draco wasn't the most important person in the room. No matter what he did, he would never be as legendary as Harry Potter. So he lashed out in the only way he knew how. With cruelty, with insults, with every tool he had been given by his father. The belief that being powerful meant looking down on others, He tormented Hermione for being Muggle-born, ridiculed Ron for being poor, and tried to prove, again and again, that he was better than Harry in any way possible. But beneath the sneers and the arrogance, Draco was never as secure as he pretended to be. The deeper he got into Hogwarts life, the more it became clear. Things weren't as simple as his parents had told him. Hogwarts was a place where Muggle-borns could be just as talented, if not more so, than purebloods. It was a place where power didn't come from bloodlines, but from courage, intelligence, and kindness. And despite everything he had been raised to believe, Draco couldn't completely ignore that truth. But instead of facing it, he did what was easy. He doubled down. He clung harder to the beliefs he was taught, to the identity he was supposed to have. Because if those things weren't true, then what was he? As the years passed, Draco's rivalry with Harry stopped being about schoolyard insults. The world around them was changing. Voldemort was rising again. The war was beginning. And soon, Draco would have to make a choice. Stay the school bully, or face the reality of the world outside Hogwarts. And that was a choice that scared him more than anything. Draco Malfoy spent most of his time at Hogwarts pretending to be untouchable. He wore his arrogance like armor, throwing insults and sneers at anyone who threatened his sense of superiority. But underneath all of it, beneath the cruelty, the rivalry, and the need to prove himself, Draco was deeply insecure. He wasn't just acting out because he disliked Harry Potter, or because he enjoyed bullying others. He was desperate to live up to the expectations placed on him. From the moment he was born, Draco was told exactly what his role in life would be: to carry on the Malfoy name, to be everything his father expected, to prove that he was worthy of his family's power and status. But Hogwarts challenged him in ways he wasn't prepared for. He quickly learned that being a Malfoy didn't automatically make him the best at everything. No matter how hard he tried to bring Harry down, Harry wasn't intimidated by him. Hermione, a Muggle-born, consistently outperformed him in every subject, proving that intelligence and talent had nothing to do with blood purity. Even Ron, someone Draco constantly mocked for being poor, had something that Draco didn't: true, unwavering friendships built on loyalty, not status. For someone raised to believe in his own superiority, this was a painful realization. And then there was his relationship with his father. Lucius Malfoy wasn't just a father. He was Draco's role model, his guide, and his harshest critic. Approval from Lucius wasn't something given freely. It had to be earned, and for all of Draco's arrogance at school, he was constantly seeking his father's validation. Every insult he threw, every rule he broke, every attempt to humiliate Harry Potter, it was all done with the hope that his father would notice, that he would be proud. But Lucius wasn't a loving parent. He was demanding, controlling, and impossible to truly please. When Draco failed, he didn't just disappoint himself, he disappointed his father, and with each failure, the pressure on him grew. So Draco did the only thing he could. He kept up the act. He hid his insecurities behind cruelty. He lashed out before others could see his own weaknesses. Because the truth was, he wasn't as strong as he pretended to be. Deep down, Draco knew he wasn't brave like Harry, talented like Hermione, or naturally liked like Ron. And rather than admit that, rather than change, he clung to the only thing he had: his family name, his blood status, and the belief that power was the only thing that mattered. But no matter how hard he tried to convince himself, doubt had already started to creep in. And soon, the world outside of Hogwarts would force Draco to face that doubt head-on, because being a school bully was one thing. But when Voldemort returned, when the war truly began, Draco would have to ask himself a question he had spent his whole life avoiding. Who was he really? For years, Draco Malfoy had played the part of the arrogant school bully, the pure-blood prince of Slytherin, the heir to a legacy of power, the boy who always had something cruel to say. But when Lord Voldemort returned, everything changed. Draco had spent his childhood idolizing his father, hearing stories of the Dark Lord's strength, believing that being a Death Eater was a path to power. But when the moment came, when Voldemort actually marked him as one of his own. Draco wasn't prepared for what that really meant. Voldemort didn't recruit Draco because he saw him as a powerful wizard. He didn't see him as an equal, as a promising young follower. He saw him as a tool, a pawn, a way to punish Lucius Malfoy for his failures. Draco wasn't being given an honor, he was being given a death sentence. His mission was simple, but impossible. Kill Albus Dumbledore. It was a task that no Hogwarts student, no child, should ever have been asked to do. And yet, Draco had no choice. Refusal meant putting his own family in danger. Voldemort didn't tolerate failure, and he didn't tolerate weakness. If Draco didn't succeed, his mother, his father, and everyone he cared about would suffer the consequences. So, for the first time in his life, Draco was truly afraid. The arrogance, gone. The childish rivalries, meaningless. The boy who had once bragged about his father's influence was now realizing just how powerless he really was. He tried, of course. He spent months working on ways to get Death Eaters into Hogwarts. Months living in fear, barely speaking to anyone, growing paler, thinner, more broken by the day. He was barely 16 years old, and he was carrying the weight of a task that even adult wizards would have feared. And the worst part? He was completely alone. His friends, Crabbe and Goyle, were nothing more than mindless followers. They didn't understand what was happening. They didn't see the crushing weight of expectation that was suffocating him. And he couldn't tell them. He couldn't tell anyone. So he suffered in silence. Draco, for the first time in his life, stopped being a bully. He wasn't interested in taunting Harry anymore, because what did any of that matter when he was fighting for his family's survival? He wasn't a villain. He wasn't a hero. He was a scared boy being forced into a nightmare he never wanted. And as the moment of truth crept closer, as the time came for him to face Dumbledore, one terrifying realization hit him harder than anything else. He didn't want to kill. He wasn't a murderer, but Voldemort didn't care what Draco wanted. And standing at the top of the astronomy tower, Draco would have to choose between his soul and his life. This was it. The moment Draco Malfoy had been dreading for an entire year. The astronomy tower, the night sky stretched endlessly above him. His wand trembled in his hand, and standing before him, completely defenseless, was Albus Dumbledore. Draco had imagined this moment 100 times. He had told himself that this was what he had to do. That failure wasn't an option, that if he hesitated, Voldemort would kill his family, and he would never be forgiven. But now, as he faced Dumbledore, everything felt wrong. Dumbledore wasn't afraid. He wasn't fighting back. Instead, he looked at Draco with understanding, with something close to sympathy, and that was the last thing Draco had expected. For months, Draco had been alone in his suffering. No one had asked him if he was okay. No one had seen the fear beneath the arrogance, the way his shoulders had started to slump under the weight of his secret. But Dumbledore saw it. "You are not a killer, Draco." 6 words, simple, true, and in that moment, Draco knew it too. He wasn't like Voldemort. He wasn't like his father. He didn't want power at the cost of his own soul. He didn't want this life. But how could he back out now? Tears burned in his eyes. His wand was raised, but his hands were shaking too much to cast a spell. He tried to tell himself that this was the only way, that if he failed, Voldemort would kill him and his family. But he couldn't do it. He wasn't a murderer, and Dumbledore wasn't fighting him. He was offering him a way out. "No one can help me," Draco whispered. Dumbledore didn't argue. He simply offered a choice. Draco could lower his wand. He could turn away from Voldemort, from everything his father believed in, from the path that had been forced upon him. Dumbledore was giving him a chance to be more than just a pawn in someone else's war. For a brief, fleeting moment, Draco considered it. He wanted to say yes, and then Severus Snape arrived. Before Draco could even process what was happening, Snape spoke the words Draco couldn't bring himself to say. "Avada Kedavra!" The green light flashed. Dumbledore was gone. Draco didn't breathe. He couldn't. His chance to walk away. Gone. His choice taken from him. He had wanted to believe there was a way out. But now, the war had truly begun, and whether he wanted to be or not, Draco Malfoy was in too deep. Draco Malfoy had spent years believing in the power of his family name, believing that wealth, status, and blood purity made him untouchable. But after Dumbledore's death, after he failed to complete the task Voldemort had given him, he realized the truth. None of it mattered anymore. Draco wasn't powerful, he wasn't safe, and he wasn't in control of his own life. With Dumbledore gone, Voldemort had fully taken over the wizarding world. Malfoy Manor became his base of operations, a place of fear rather than safety. Draco wasn't a favoured servant, he was a prisoner in his own home. The Dark Lord used his family as an example, a reminder of what happened to those who failed him. Lucius Malfoy, once an influential Death Eater, had been humiliated, his wand taken from him. Narcissa was desperately trying to hold her family together, and Draco was trapped. He had spent his childhood believing he was on the winning side, that his father's connections would always protect him. But now, he was surrounded by monsters, real monsters, and he could do nothing but watch as Voldemort tightened his grip on the world. By the time the Battle of Hogwarts began, Draco's arrogance was gone. He wasn't fighting for Voldemort. He wasn't fighting for anyone. He was scared, caught between a war he didn't want to be a part of and the expectations that had been forced upon him. And then, something happened that changed everything. In the middle of the chaos, Draco found himself face to face with Harry Potter once again, and instead of attacking him, instead of trying to win favour with Voldemort, Harry saved his life. Inside the burning room of requirement, as Draco panicked, Harry reached out a hand. After everything, after years of insults and rivalry, Harry still chose to save him. That moment meant something. Draco had spent his whole life believing that power and blood status made someone important. That being a Malfoy meant being untouchable. But in the end, it wasn't a name or wealth or power that saved him. It was mercy. When Voldemort was finally defeated, Draco didn't celebrate. He didn't stand with the heroes, and he didn't mourn the Dark Lord either. He simply left. Draco had been raised to believe that one day he would be great, that he would inherit his father's world and carry on the Malfoy legacy. But after everything he had seen, everything he had lost, he realized that wasn't the life he wanted anymore. Draco Malfoy had finally broken free, and for the first time in his life, he was going to decide his own future. When the dust settled after the Battle of Hogwarts, Draco Malfoy was left standing in a world that had completely changed. The Dark Lord was gone. The pure blood supremacy he had been raised to believe in had crumbled, and for the first time, his family's name no longer carried the power it once did. Draco didn't try to reclaim his former status. He didn't seek revenge. He simply disappeared from the public eye. After everything, Draco didn't go to Azkaban. His role in the war had been clear. He had never actually killed anyone. He had never truly committed himself to Voldemort's cause. But that didn't mean he was innocent. He had stood on the wrong side, even if he had been too afraid to act on it. But in the end, fear wasn't a crime. And more importantly, it was his mother's love that saved him. During the final battle, Narcissa Malfoy had made a choice that changed everything. When Voldemort demanded that she check if Harry Potter was dead, she didn't tell the truth. She knew that as long as Harry lived, there was still hope. But more than that, she knew Voldemort had already lost, and she refused to let her family be destroyed any further. Because of her deception, Draco survived, and after the war, he did what his father never could. He stepped away from the Malfoy legacy. Draco didn't join the Ministry. He didn't try to reclaim power. He lived a quiet life, away from politics, away from the fight for influence that had defined his family for generations. But perhaps the most important change was the woman he chose to marry, Astoria Greengrass. Astoria was a pureblood, but unlike the Malfoys, she had no interest in blood purity or the old ways. She had seen the damage it had done, and she rejected it completely. When Draco married her, he made a choice to leave that part of himself behind. Together, they raised their son, Scorpius Malfoy in a different world. A world where blood status no longer mattered. A world where Scorpius wouldn't be raised with the same beliefs Draco had been forced to carry. But even after all those years, Draco was still haunted by his past. He knew that to some, he would always be remembered as the school bully, the arrogant Slytherin, the boy who had stood on the wrong side of history. But the truth was, Draco Malfoy had changed. He had learned that fear isn't strength, that power isn't everything, and that redemption isn't about being perfect. It's about making different choices than the ones before you. And in the end, Draco Malfoy had finally done what no one ever expected him to do. He had chosen a new path. For years, Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter were locked in rivalry. Two boys from completely different worlds, each standing on opposite sides of a war they barely understood. To Draco, Harry was the enemy. To Harry, Draco was a spoiled bully who thrived on cruelty and arrogance. But their relationship was never as simple as hero versus villain. Draco wasn't Voldemort, and he was never truly a Death Eater at heart. He was a product of his upbringing, trapped in the expectations of his family, torn between fear and the desperate need for approval. And while he resented Harry, he also envied him. Harry had something Draco never did: freedom. Harry wasn't born into wealth or privilege, but he was free to choose his own destiny. He wasn't weighed down by the expectations of a father like Lucius Malfoy. He wasn't forced to believe in something just because of his family name. Even though Harry's life had been painful, even though he had lost so much, he had the one thing Draco lacked: real friendships built on love, not power. And deep down, Draco knew it. That's why he lashed out. That's why he mocked Harry every chance he got. Because if he wasn't better than Harry, then who was he? But as they grew older, things changed. The schoolyard taunts gave way to real consequences, real danger, real war. And suddenly, their rivalry wasn't about Quidditch or house points or petty school insults. It was about survival. And in the end, it was Harry who saved Draco, not the other way around. In the Battle of Hogwarts, inside the burning room of requirement, Draco was trapped. The fire raged around him, and for a moment it seemed like his story would end there. But Harry didn't leave him behind. After everything, after years of insults, after all the times Draco had tried to bring him down, Harry reached out a hand and saved his life. That moment changed everything. Harry didn't have to do it. Draco wasn't his friend, but that's what made it matter. Because Harry proved that mercy was more powerful than hatred, that sometimes even the people who hurt us deserve a second chance. After the war, their paths didn't cross often, but there was no longer hatred between them, only understanding. Draco wasn't the same boy who had once tried to humiliate Harry, and Harry no longer saw him as just an enemy. They would never be friends, but in the years that followed, they became something else. Two men who had once stood on opposite sides, now walking forward in a world where they both survived, a world where rivalries didn't matter anymore. Draco Malfoy was never the villain of Harry Potter, but he was never the hero either. He was something far more complicated. He was a boy raised in a world where power meant everything, a boy who was taught to believe in superiority, only to realize too late that he had been lied to his entire life. He was arrogant, cruel, and desperate to prove himself, but he was also scared, pressured, and ultimately a victim of the same system he once upheld. For years, he hid behind pride and insults, pretending to be stronger than he really was. But in the moments that mattered, when faced with choices that defined who he truly was, he hesitated. Because deep down, Draco Malfoy was never as sure of himself as he pretended to be. He wasn't evil. He wasn't heartless, he was afraid, and in the end, fear is what saved him. Fear kept him from killing Dumbledore. Fear kept him from fully embracing Voldemort's cause. Fear made him walk away from his past and choose a new life for himself and his family. Draco Malfoy's story isn't about redemption in the traditional sense. He never made a grand apology, never tried to be a hero. Instead, his redemption was quiet. It was in his choices, in his actions. in his decision to break the cycle that had controlled his family for generations. He wasn't brave like Harry, or brilliant like Hermione, or loyal like Ron, but he changed. And sometimes that's enough. So as you close your eyes tonight, think about Draco Malfoy, not as a villain, not as a school bully, but as a boy who grew up under the weight of his family's expectations, only to realize that he could be something more. Because in the end, Draco Malfoy wasn't defined by his past. He was defined by the choices he made to leave it behind. Thank you for spending your night with Lost at 3 a.m. Sweet dreams, and we'll see you next time.